When speed becomes absolute.
Hello everyone, welcome to What If Issei Had Powers of Flash with Boosted Gear movie. Before we start, please go support GTKenny for writing that awesome fanfic. This is the translated version I made. There will be some mistake in character's gender, but of course Issei is a male. Issei, a young speedster and wielder of the D-Drag, arrives in his hometown of Kyo in search of more exciting battles, but during one of his races he encounters a group of young people led by a redhead. What direction will this encounter take? Meeting. In the underworld, 3 of the 4 Maoists were gathered to discuss issues affecting the kingdom. Beelzebub, well, if that's all, I suppose this meeting is over, right? Seraphal, you're right. Surzech, no, there's still a very important matter to discuss. Serious. Beelzebub, and what is it? Surzech, in one of our demonic headquarters in Kyo City, someone or something moving at incredible speed stole a lot of money and classified information. Seraphal, someone or something, 0. Surzech, we haven't identified what it was, but one of the cameras managed to capture this. Imagine it with red rays D. Seraphal, wow, 0. Beelzebub, what the surprised? Surzech, is something wrong? Beelzebub, I think I know what it's about, but until I'm sure I can't say anything for certain. Thinking. Czech, I understand, well, this meeting is over. Elsewhere in the city of Kyo, a chestnut tree was getting up after a night of pleasure. Issei, hey, wake up, don't you have to go to your kendo club? Just a little while longer, zzz half asleep. Issei, if my parents see you here, there'll be trouble, he said while yawning. The chestnut-tired man decided to get up and brush his teeth while the girl changed to leave. So, see you later. Issei, of course you forgot that I went into your academy, right? We could continue doing our thing there with a seductive look. The young woman blushed slightly and said goodbye to the brunette with a kiss. See you, Issei. Issei, take care, Murayama. The chestnut-tired man had breakfast and then played on his PC for a while. Hey buddy, don't you have to go drop off your papers to get into the academy? Issei D-Drag. Surprised, yes, I suppose you're right, but I have time. D-Drag, hahaha, of course you, but be careful, I feel several supernatural presences. Besides, after our robbery, I don't think the demons are very happy to say. Issei, you're not wrong about that, laughing. The day passed quickly. Our favorite chestnut-tired boy did everything he had to do and started reviewing the information he had obtained. More than a month had passed since the chestnut-tired boy entered the academy. His introduction to his class was simple. He went unnoticed. He became friends with 2 young men named Matsuda and Madohama, with whom he spied on women and was severely punished by them, although the chestnut-tired boy always escaped in the blink of an eye. His friends with benefits relationship with Murayama had not changed. Right now, he was preparing for a small visit to a demon bank located a few kilometers from Kyo Academy. Issei, Listo Dragon, D-Drag, of course, but be careful. Issei, don't worry, partner, running off, leaving red lightning in his wake. At the city bank, there was a redhead with a group of students from Kyo Academy. Rias, according to my brother's information, it's likely this bank will be robbed today. Our mission is to protect it. Kiba, Kaneko, Gasper, Aquino, Zenovia, Irina, Asia, Volley. Yes, Baucho, Rias. Okay, that's it, everything's ready, we just have to wait. She's interrupted when something entered and was moving at great speed, leaving red rays in its path. Everyone tried to stop it, but they couldn't reach it. Kiba, he's too fast. The blue-haired girl, in an attempt to stop it, tried to predict where it would go and succeeded, or at least she thought so, because it hit her in the stomach and face. Ag, screamed the pained Zenovia. Volley and Irina were only in front of Rias to protect her from whatever might happen. Kaneko, for her part, tried to follow it with her eyes, but it was impossible, so she pushed away. Finally, Kiba used his sword birth to try to impale the target with one of his swords, but it was useless since it dodged them without any problem. In return, Kiba only received a barrage of blows all over his body, leaving him on his knees on the ground. Impossible, said Kiba. Gasper wanted to stop time, but fear wouldn't let him concentrate. Asia took the opportunity to heal her companions while that thing, or whatever it was, continued moving erratically. Rias, Aquino now, Aquino, agreed, summoning lightning and launching it in an attempt to stop him. BOOMMM Super Special Effects, V. As the smoke began to clear, they saw a person in a suit standing in front of them. Imagine it with red rays D again V. Rias, guys on guard. Instantly everyone began to surround the mysterious man. Issei, clapping, amazing skills, I didn't think they could stop me, where have I seen these fools before? Hahaha, I remember now. Aquino, you have no way out. Hand over what you stole and we'll give you a swift, painless execution. Laughing sadistically. Issei, I wouldn't be so sure, Aknason, he said defiantly. Surprising everyone, Volley said very seriously, how do you know his name? The thief began pointing at everyone while calling out their names. Rias Gremory, younger sister of the Mau Lucifer Kaneko Asia Gasper Kiba Aquino Zenobia Irina. He started laughing, then spoke a second time. Don't be so surprised. After all, I like to be informed. The place fell silent, everyone stunned, until the thief spoke again. If that's all you've got and you're going to stand there with those idiotic looks on your faces, I'm out of here. He started running at incredible speed through the place until he decided to leave the building. But he couldn't because a magical barrier sent him flying into a wall. Volley, now I ask you, is that all you've got? He replied arrogantly while the rest of the team regained their focus. As the thief stood up, he silently approached the door. As we've already told you, you have no way out, Rias said with a victorious look on her face. The thief responded with a soft laugh. Ha 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 ha, really? You're very clever, but not that clever. At that moment, the thief raised his hand and a reddish glow flooded the place for a second. Then they saw the thief break the magic seal with his fist, which held a kind of gauntlet. Rias, that's right, Volley, the boosted gear. Impossible. I destroyed its previous wielder. How did another one appear so soon? Issei, see you. Smiling, the thief had escaped quickly and the whole group was stunned. Azazel and Razor Phoenix. Our chestnut-tired friend after that encounter was running through the city to clear his mind of his attack on the demon bank. He could have had a little more fun, but he preferred not to stay too long in that place since it was likely that Mao Surzets would appear. Well, it's time I went home, the brunette exclaimed, a little frustrated. Once inside, he knew he wasn't alone. Whoever's in there, come out now, he said, a hint of anger in his voice. And I thought I'd hidden myself well. A tall man with black hair and blonde streaks emerged from the shadows. Issei, you ho 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 ho, well, how unexpected. I never expected the leader of the fallen angels to honor me by coming to visit my humble abode. Sarcastically. Azazel, ha ha ha, you're hard to find, kid, I need to talk to you. Oh, right, straight to the point, huh, I like it, said the brunette, so what do you want from me? Azazel, well, the thing is, you've been causing trouble for the demons, which I don't mind, but it seems they're starting to suspect you're working for another faction, and that's hurting us. Serious. Issei, I don't work for anyone. Hey, if you just wanted to talk, why are there 100 fallen angels surrounding the house? Azazel, caution and tell me, would you like to work with me? Issei, I am no one's servant, Azazel. Azazel, I didn't say work for me, but work with me, do you understand? Issei, I don't know, D-Drake, what do you think about this? At that moment, the boosted gear appeared on the boy's arm. D-Drake, I'm doubting too, so telling me fallen angel, what's in store for us? Azazel, still surprised that the gauntlet was speaking, replied, logically there will be very good pay and you will face many powerful beings. Don't you like the idea? Issei and D-Drake were excited by this proposal and accepted. A week had passed and Issei and Azazel were still working together. Their friendship had strengthened and they now had a great deal of trust. At this moment, the brown-haired boy was with a certain young woman in one of the classrooms at Kyo Academy. Lehman warning, 7W7. Don't stop, Hado. The young Murayama was in total ecstasy as our chestnut-tired friend continued thrusting into her while caressing her breasts. Issei, you like the feeling of doing it outdoors, don't you? You're such a pervert. Murayama, don't say it, Ashi, hahaha. They separated for a moment. Murayama got on all fours and swayed her hips seductively, inviting Issei. The brunette didn't hesitate and began thrusting hard. You're so beautiful, Murayama, he said excitedly. The young woman moaned loudly, and for Issei it was music to his ears. He took a strand of Murayama's hair and tugged on it to see the girl's face contorted with pleasure. Murayama, Issei, I'm coming. Ha ha ha, Issei, me too. And just as they reached the desired climax, not content with that, they continued doing it until nightfall began. End of the Lehman, I'm not good at this, so don't kill me in the comments, P. Murayama, well, Issei, see you later. Issei, sure, take care. They said goodbye with a kiss, yet the boy continued to linger around the academy, sensing magic nearby, and he wasn't wrong. In one of the rooms of a certain club, the redhead was with her entourage. They seemed to be having a meeting with another clan. The brunette decided to eavesdrop through the door, but he was discovered. Rias, I don't like busybodies, so whoever's there, come right in. Issei, I didn't think you would feel me entering the room. Rias, you, what are you doing here? Angry. Issei, what a bad welcome, I study here at Gremory. At that moment, a blonde man was sitting in one of the club's armchairs. Who do you think you are to be snooping where you're not wanted, you disgusting human? The blonde man said angrily. The brunette simply replied, haven't you been taught any manners, you Phoenix clan bird? The blonde was even angrier, but the redhead spoke. Rias, Razor, I've already told you I won't marry you, and you get out of here, looking at Issei, who wasn't paying attention to her. Razor, you can't do anything to stop it, my dear, Rias laughing. Issei, you're pathetic, Razor, forcing a woman to marry you, how low have you fallen? Razor, how dare you speak to me like that? Die, you disgusting human. He launched a fireball that caused a small explosion that'll be enough. Issei, that's all, and I thought someone like you could be fun covering himself with his right arm in which the boosted gear was activated. Razor, you're the current Sekiryuutei, a human, what a waste of power. Issei, you think so? Let's do this, you bird brain, a bet between you and me and we'll see who laughs in the end. Razor, hahaha, don't believe it, a human wouldn't last 10 seconds against me even if you were the Sekiryuutei. Issei, what's wrong, Razor? Are you afraid of losing? Come on. Don't be a coward, besides, if you win I know, I'll give you the boosted gear. Everyone was stunned. Razor, hahaha, fine kid, if you want to die I won't stop you. Issei, but if I win you will never appear before me again and you will cancel your marriage to Rias Gremory. The most surprised was Rias at the chestnut-haired boy's declaration, which made her blush because what he was doing was crazy. Razor, all right, brat, I'll send one of my servants to tell you the day and time of our meeting. Until next time, my dear Rias. Disappearing in a magic circle along with his entourage. Rias, what do you think you're doing, idiot? Issei, what? Don't tell me you wanted to marry him. Rias, that's not it, it's just why are you doing this? Issei, well, I'm bored so I thought I'd entertain myself for a while. Laughing. At that moment, a beautiful woman dressed as a maid entered. In this story, Grafia has no relationship with Surzets. She only works for the Gremory family. What? Rias, Grafia, what brings you here? Grafia, I was listening to everything, Ryasama, since your mother asked me to make sure there were no disturbances at your meeting, Razor Phoenix. Looking at Issei. Issei, do I have something on my face? Looking at Grafia. Grafia, I'll ask you to accompany me as I need to inform the Gremory household about this. Issei, I'll go anywhere with you. Approaching Grafia. Grafia blushing, well, that's all. See you later, Ryasama. Issei, see you. Smiling. They both disappeared in a magic circle. Kaiba, maybe he cans. Akino, none of us like Rias, but that boy might be able to help us. Rias, I lose, but that frustrates me. Zenovia, Irina, Yuyudo, I want you to keep an eye on this Issei guy. Akino, look for information about him. Gasper and Asia try to approach him at the academy to get to know him better. All hides Boucho in the underworld. Issei whistles, this family sure lives the good life. Grafia, please follow me. The chestnut-haired boy simply obeyed. Once inside, he admired the decor, which he found very ostentatious. After a few minutes, they entered a room with a table in the center where Surzets and a very beautiful chestnut-haired woman were seated, whom Issei was looking at with less than holy intentions. Grafia, masters, I've returned and I have news. Surzets, I see that and tell me what he's doing here serious. Issei, shouldn't they be nice to their guests? My son, calm down, looking at the chestnut, excuse my son's rudeness. I am Venelana Gremory, could you tell me your name, boy? In this story, Venelana's husband, who would be the father of Rias and Surzets, died many years ago. Issei, the chestnut-haired boy, replied, bowing as he looked the brunette up and down, which caused Venelana to blush. Surzets, Grafia, explain the situation to me, ignoring the brunette. Grafia, yes, it seems this young man challenged Razor to a battle. It appears that if this young man wins, Ryasama's marriage will be annulled. The redhead and the brunette were surprised. Surzets, what are you planning, Sekiryuutei? Issei, why does everything I do seem wrong to you? Calm down, Mao, I just want to have fun, and if everything goes well, your capricious little sister won't marry that firebird. Venelana, that's all, isn't there any other reason? Issei, well, there is another one, but I have to discuss that with Surzets alone. Surzets, I agree, follow me. Confrontation. Surzets, well, what is it you want? Issei, it's simple, in exchange for saving your sister from her forced marriage, you will give me information. Surzets, what kind of information? Issei, I know that they recently found a book which contains information about all the known dragons of this world and other worlds and magic that only sacred gear wielders can use. That's all I want, Surzets began, but was interrupted by the chestnut-haired man who spoke up. I also want all the information on the old Satan faction. Surprised, Surzets agreed to the terms the chestnut-haired man said. But before their meeting ended, Surzets asked the man one more question. Why do you want information about the old Satan faction? Issei, with all due respect, Mao Surzets, that's none of your business, serious. Didrag compatron. After that awkward moment, Issei left, but not before giving Venelana a seductive look. She blushed slightly and avoided eye contact with the brunette. Once out of the underworld, he returned to Kuo and decided to go for a run to see if anything interesting was happening. I went to the trouble of creating the GIF Peace series, The Flash. But he was disappointed when nothing happened and went to a park to pass the time. At that moment, a magic circle formed in front of Issei, from which a guy dressed as a waiter came out, bowed, handed him a letter, and as quickly as he appeared, that man left. Issei, opening the letter, let's see, oh, it seems that Razor Bird has already chosen the day of the encounter in 4 days, perfect, so Didrag, what do you say, shall we train with the dragon that Azazel introduced us to? Didrag, are you referring to Tannen? I don't know, partner. You're strong enough to destroy that weak demon. Issei, that's true, even so, we should train a little. We should never underestimate our opponent, my dear friend. Besides knowing Razor, I know he'll come up with some kind of trick. The chestnut tree formed a magic circle to head towards Tannen's territories, but apparently he didn't realize that he was being watched by 3 members of Rias' entourage who followed the chestnut tree. 3 days later. Tannen, well that's all boy, this training has yielded good results. Issei, thank you so much Tannen, I couldn't have done it without you. Tannen, you don't have to thank me besides, it's always good to have a good dragon fight, don't you agree Didraig? Didraig, I agree with you my friend. Tannen, I'm saying goodbye, see you soon. Issei and Didraig likewise. When that dragon took flight, the chestnut-tired man was about to retreat until Didraig exclaimed, Partner, don't you think you should tell those 3 to stop hiding? Zenovia, Kiba, and Irina were surprised since they thought they wouldn't be noticed. Issei, you're right, get out of there, that's enough, come closer, I don't bite laughing. Kiba, you're really strong, Issei-kun. Issei, haha, when did I give you the right to call me that? Zenovia, we apologize for the inconvenience, Issei-san. Irina, staring intently at the brunette. Issei, well whatever, I guess Rias told you to keep an eye on me, right? Well, tell her it's not necessary, I'm not doing anything suspicious. The chestnut-tired boy felt uncomfortable because Irina kept staring at him. He looked away hoping that the brunette with purple eyes wouldn't recognize him. Even so, fate is cruel as it conspired against Issei so that the beautiful girl would remember him. Irina, Hyaodaokun, with tears in her eyes. Issei, you're confusing me with someone else. Irina, don't lie to me, cryings. Issei, ha. I guess there's no point in hiding it. Hi Irina, how have you been? The brunette threw herself towards Issei to give him a hug and he reciprocated. Both Kiba and Zenovia were shocked, they no longer expected them to meet. Irina, you're alive, crying. Issei, yes I am Irina, I know I have a lot to explain but this isn't the time, okay. Smiling kindly. Irina, okay, wiping away her tears. After that not-so-touching moment, the 3 demons and Issei struck up a normal conversation. Strangely, our chestnut-tired boy managed to get along with those guys, and they didn't dislike his company. Kiba, so tomorrow's your meeting with Razor serious. Issei, why are you saying that so seriously? Relax, that spoiled blonde doesn't stand a chance. Laughing. Irina, are you sure Issei? Zenovia, Irina is right, are you sure you can beat him? Issei, come on, don't worry, I'll be fine. The group of boys left the underworld and chatted until night fell, then they separated to go to their respective homes. Zenovia, well take care, I'll see you tomorrow. Kiba, I'm also saying goodbye. Irina, thoughtful. Issei, don't worry, I'll be fine. Besides, we have a lot to talk about later, right? Irina, smiling, you're right. Meeting day. The place was packed. Nobility, low-class and middle-class demons were all waiting expectantly for the duel that was about to begin. Surzech, Venelana, Rias and her entourage and Grafia were waiting for the chestnut-tired man who had not yet arrived. Rias, he still hasn't arrived. I hope he hasn't chickened out. Surzech, don't worry little sister, he'll come. Aquino, Ara, let's just hope he's not late. At that moment, a red beam passed in front of them. It was the chestnut-tired boy who quickly checked the place and stopped right in front of Aquino. Issei, I'm never late, beautiful seductive look. Aquino, blush. Kiba, Issei-san, you've arrived. Rias, it's about time you arrived, annoyed. Issei, what's wrong Rias, aren't you happy to see me? Rias, why should I Issei? You're so cold but that makes you more attractive. The redhead couldn't hide her blush, which had turned a very strong color. After a few minutes where Issei and Rias were talking, Razor arrived with his entourage waiting at the battle site. Without further ado, Issei headed to the same place. Razor, I didn't think you'd show up, brat, arrogant. Issei, funny, I thought the same thing, laughing. Surzech, very well, everything is ready. Razor-san, I will ask you to withdraw your entourage so we can begin the duel. Razor, they won't leave. After all, he never said he couldn't fight my entourage. Surzech. Venelana, that's too much. Rias, that's crazy, not like that you coward Razor. Issei, no problem, trust me Rias, smiling. Rias, you really are a fool but I trust you, Issei whispered. Surzech, let the duel begin. Razor, summoning a chair and table with some snacks, I'll sit here and enjoy your death. Issei, ha, well, give me a few seconds to finish off your servants. At that moment, the chestnut-tired man activated his boosted gear and said with a smile, let's see which of you I destroy first. One of Razor's servants replied, don't be arrogant, human, as he launched an attack, but the chestnut-tired man easily evaded it. I suppose you'll take the pawns first, the chestnut-tired man exclaimed. Running at incredible speed, he sent all of Razor's pawns flying. One of his knights tried to anticipate the chestnut-tired man's movements but received a blow to the stomach, which was finished off by a knee to the chin. There were only 2 rooks, 2 bishops, a knight and the queen left who decided to take Issei seriously. Through a coordinated attack by the two bishops and the queen, they managed to distract the chestnut-tired boy so that the rooks could strike him from both sides, and then proceed with a very powerful magic attack from the queen. Boommm. The place fell into total silence. Some thought the outcome was obvious, others thought how idiotic that boy was to challenge Razor, and even Surzech thought it was all over. But all those thoughts were erased when they saw the brunette emerge from the rubble unharmed. Rias, Issei, okay, the games are over. As he said that, the chestnut-tired man moved again at incredible speeds. None of the spectators could follow him with their eyes. He stopped in front of the queen only to hit her right on the back of the neck and she fainted. Then he moved towards the two bishops and hit them very hard. Razor decided to attack the chestnut-tired man from behind, but Issei had no problem dodging that attack. Issei, what happened, Razor? Didn't you say you'd enjoy the view? Razor, don't think you're human, I'll destroy you, angry. Issei, I guess it's time, balance breaker. D-Drag, Welsh dragon, balancer breaker. What? Everyone was speechless at the sight of the chestnut-tired man's power, and the armor he wore made him even more imposing. Surzech, that magic is dragon magic. Rias and her entourage didn't know what to say in the face of Issei's power. Riaser, impossible. Not even with that armor can you defeat me. Scared. Issei, it's over, Razor, I recommend you give up. Laughing. Razor, me, surrender, that's enough, I'll finish you now. Issei didn't hesitate. He flew to where the arrogant blonde was and began to deliver a terrible beating. Such was the power of each blow that Razor was vomiting blood. Even in that state, Issei didn't stop and sent him flying to the other side of the field, only to appear behind him just before he hit the ground. He then sent him flying again, continuing to play with him like a ping-pong ball. After a few minutes, he decided to stop. The blonde fell to the ground. Issei turned his back to leave, but Razor stood up, and even though he was extremely beaten, he refused to give in. Razor, how dare you? He began charging an extremely powerful magic attack die, Supernova, Super Original Attack V. That attack consisted of a gigantic sphere that kept growing bigger and bigger, but the chestnut-tired man wasn't surprised, he was just excited. Issei, that's right, Razor, give me everything you've got, laughing. Razor, take this. The enormous sphere was heading towards Issei, but he only rose a few meters off the ground, raised his right arm and began to charge a small sphere of magic. Issei, dragon shot. The collision between the two attacks was devastating, but as the smoke cleared, all that could be seen was the chestnut-tired man standing in front of Razor's badly battered body lying on the ground. Surzech, the confrontation is over. Everyone present cheered the chestnut horse for that relentless victory. Even Surzech was completely surprised, but among the people the voice of someone was heard looking at Issei maliciously and laughing. So you're still alive, hehehe, laughing. That voice reached the chestnut-tired man's ears, and upon hearing it, he turned around desperately, trying to find the source of the voice he had heard before. Even though he hadn't heard it for years, he recognized that disgusting voice. Memories and acceptance. I father Issei's father I am. Issei's mother to remove doubts v. Father go to school, Issei b but my brother still hasn't gotten up. Mother let him rest, we'll go to the movies with him later. Issei, okay, that's fine. Father, here giving him money and a key, this is the key to the house, and with this you can buy yourself something so you don't starve to death. That little chestnut-tired boy never questioned his parents' orders despite the beatings, insults, and taunts from those he considered family. Even so, he still loved them. All the attention he needed went only to his brother, who was an arrogant, capricious, and conceited brat. Issei always came home bruised, as he suffered bullying from his classmates and his brother. On one of those terrible days for the chestnut-tired boy, everything literally burst into flames. He ran into the house searching for his family. He found his brother crying in his room. Issei decided to help him, pulling him out as they descended the stairs. The house was beginning to collapse and the smoke blinded the chestnut-tired boy. Luckily, his parents started shouting the little boy's name. Issei, trying to follow the voice, began to see the exit, but then he fell. Not from exhaustion nor from a stumble, it was him, the one he considered family. His brother pushed him and ran off. The chestnut-tired man's mind still couldn't process what had just happened. He tried to stand, but a burning piece of wood struck his head, knocking him to the ground for the second time. He had no strength left, he just wanted to rest. Even after everything, he was glad his family was safe, or so he thought, as a tear began to form in his eye and trace a path down his cheek when he heard the words of his parents and brother in the distance. Father, are you okay? You're not hurt. Okay, let's go before the house explodes. Mother, and where is the other one? Father, it doesn't matter anymore. Let's just leave before this gets worse. I'm sure Raisvim-sama did it for our own good since he didn't want dangerous elements in his plan. The chestnut tree didn't understand, as that house collapsed, shedding tears with so much pain, thinking about what he had done. After all, they never loved him. He knew he was going to die, even so what good was being alive? He had nothing left. The firefighters arrived when almost nothing remained of the house. They didn't expect to find any survivors, but to their surprise, lying on the ground was the body of a young boy, slightly beaten but with minor injuries and a little blood on his head. He was wearing a kind of red glove with a green gem. Everything seemed to indicate that he was all right, he was just unconscious. They tried to take him to the hospital, but he never arrived. The ambulance they had been transporting him in was found smashed to pieces, with the drivers and paramedics unconscious a few meters away. End of flashback. Issei, after remembering those disgusting moments, he simply headed to the palace of Mao Surzech, who was waiting for him with many other people. Once the brunette arrived, he received a hug from the redhead. He hadn't expected it, but that hug was warm, reflecting affection, concern, and esteem. Rias, Issei, don't worry, I'm fine. Irina, I know you're tired, Issei, but I don't want to postpone our talk any longer. Serious. Everyone remained silent, wondering, talk about what? Issei, hahaha, okay, heading to one of the rooms in the place. The brunette followed him, but she wasn't the only one. Rias and her entourage didn't stay behind and entered the room. Issei tried to kick them out, but Irina stopped him, saying they were trustworthy. The brunette told her how he survived the accident at his old house, omitting details and changing certain parts of the story. The whole place fell silent as they hadn't expected to hear such a tragic story. After a few moments, the brunette broke the silence. Irina, I see, but well, I'm glad you're alive cheerfully. Your brother will also be glad to know you're all right, interrupted. Issei, he won't know, he doesn't have to know, angrily. Rias, but Issei is your brother. Issei, I stopped being one a long time ago, angry. Awkward silence. The situation couldn't be worse. Luckily, Surzech entered the room asking to speak with the chestnut-haired man. Issei, and what do you want to talk about? Surzech, I wanted to give you what we agreed on. Taking a considerable number of books out of a small magic circle. Issei, I doubt you got me out of there just for that, picking up the books. Surzech, I wanted to ask you something, if you could join my sister's entourage. Issei, aren't you being greedy? You already have the Sekiryuutei laughing. Surzech, you know I only hired him to protect my sister. Besides, your experience and your help could improve them, and above all, you can recover what you deny yourself with so much hatred. Issei, what do you know? Angrily, haha, I'll think about it, Surzech, I'll think about it, downcast. As the chestnut-haired man left the room, Surzech whispered something that only the wind heard. I hope you agree to reclaim your feelings. What? The days had passed, and it seemed Issei had managed to fit in with the rest of Rias' entourage. Akino was a pervert, and since Issei was too, they often seemed to be flirting with each other. Asia was shy, but even with Issei's somewhat suggestive comments, they got along very well. Gasper was a headache for Issei, but they managed to understand each other. His relationship with Kaneko was special, as she always ignored him, yet the brunette would still bother her, making her angry. But sometimes he managed to see her smile when he was chased by the little Nekomata. His relationship with President Rias was somewhat complicated, as they were always disagreeing, but they were getting closer and closer until they seemed like a couple. In the occult club. Issei, so why did you call me? Sleepily. Rias, I want you to live for me, serious. Issei, are you confessing your feelings to me? I wasn't expecting that, but I accept with all my love, laughing. Rias 00, that's not it, idiot. Akino ara Rias blushing, this is very unusual, smiling. The rest of those present tried to contain their laughter. Rias, I want you to join me and be part of my entourage, regaining her composure. Upon hearing this, the chestnut-haired man thought about rejecting the offer immediately, but something prevented him, and he remembered the words the redhead had said to him. You will be able to recover what you deny yourself with so much hatred. A melancholic smile appeared on his face, and he thought, I detest idiots like you who are right. Issei, all right, I accept to join your entourage. Joy filled the room. Everyone was happy with the chestnut-haired boy's decision. Once the ceremony was over, everyone started to leave, leaving only Rias and the boy. After tidying up, they sat on the sofa to rest while drinking tea. Issei, I could have finished it in a second. Rias, you must not use your skills at the academy, that's an order. Issei, as you wish, my mistress, sarcastically. Rias, don't make fun of me, pushing him. Issei, what's wrong, is my mistress angry, pushing her. They both started teasing and pushing each other, but instead of seeming like a fight, it seemed like a growing closeness between them. In one of those many pushes, Rias ended up right in front of the brunette. They both remained motionless, their eyes unblinking, looking at each other as if their lives depended on it. The brunette wanted to taste her lips and didn't hesitate to kiss her, but the redhead beat him to it. Closing her eyes, Rias kissed him. At first, it was a shy kiss, but both were unsatisfied and kissed again so passionately that they forgot where they were. Even so, they had to separate for something as simple as breathing. Both were panting, but it wasn't over yet. They both wanted much more, their bodies were screaming for it. The redhead kissed him again, and Issei responded. The brunette's hands began to caress Ria's thighs and she, slipping her hand under his shirt, caressed his chest. If this continued, this relationship would be consummated. Even so, the brunette decided to stop. Issei, Rias, we can't. Rias, why isn't I'm not enough for you, sadly. Issei, it's not that, it's just that we haven't made our relationship official yet. After all, I'd like your family to know about this. Rias, Issei, surprised. The redhead hugged him with so much love that our brunette could barely breathe. He wanted their relationship to be official. They both left the academy and decided to give each other a goodbye kiss. The brunette then chose a park to think about what had happened. Issei, what the hell is happening to me? Looking at his reflection in a puddle of water. I didn't know why, but I didn't believe it. He wanted a serious relationship, something that had been unimaginable for him before. Since when had that changed? He only slept with women for pleasure, nothing else mattered. After all, he didn't want to open his heart to anyone. He promised himself he would never suffer again. Even so, Rias and the other girls in the club broke down that wall that seemed indestructible to many. D-Drake, what's up, buddy? You look very happy. Issei, come on D-Drake, don't start, you know why I'm like this. D-Drake, I'm happy for you, partner, but you'll still have to survive all of them. Issei, I'm confused. D-Drake, of course, don't tell me you haven't turned around. All the girls at the club are over you. After all, the lives of all MY patrons have always been surrounded by women. What? Issei, you've got to be kidding me. D-Drake, I wish you lucky, buddy. Issei, give me a break. City of San Francisco. How's everything going? Researcher 1, excellent news, sir, excellent news. Apparently this one managed it without our intervention. It was able to reproduce and give birth, so to speak. We assume that since it is the second one born in a new environment with this one, it will develop new characteristics. And this one won't reproduce. Researcher 2, no sir, it doesn't seem like this is the final product you want us to make. So this is the pinnacle of our project. Smiling well, start running the list of candidates. Investigated. 1. Regarding that, sir, we tried from the beginning to provide you with a host, but you have brutally rejected them all. Don't worry about that, I'll find some good candidates. I also have some I'll add to the list. Laughing. Problems, confrontation, and an ally. After the brief chat with D-Drake, Issei was heading home. Just before entering, he noticed a man in a strange suit standing a few meters behind him. Issei, I don't like unexpected visits, who are you? Issei, are you mute? Annoyed. How do Issei? Distorted voice. Issei, how do you know about me? I'm going to destroy what's most precious to you. Distorted voice. At that moment, Rias and the rest of the girls from the club flashed through the brunette's mind. And with tremendous anger, he glared at the man who could only laugh and then sped away. Surprised, the brunette went after him, thinking, so I'm not the only speedster in this city. They ran all over the city. Apparently that guy was much faster than the brunette since he couldn't catch him. He tried calling D-Drake, but for some reason he didn't answer. Issei just assumed he was sleeping. They had been running for several minutes and it was becoming increasingly frustrating for the brunette not to be able to catch up. When they were nearing an industrial area, the man stopped. Issei did the same and they stood face to face. What's wrong, Issei? Tired, distorted voice. Issei, what the hell do you want? I already told you, but I'll be more specific. I'll take everything you own, I'll make it mine, and then I'll destroy you. Distorted voice. Issei, seriously? I want to see you try. Both of them ran again in that aforementioned industrial area. Anger blinded the chestnut-tired man, who received the surprise blow from that subject, which stunned him and pushed him against a wall. Issei, is that all? Although to be honest, I have no reason to be disappointed. After all, you'll always be below me and you always have been. Distorted voice. At that moment, that guy disappeared. Our chestnut-tired friend, still annoyed, decided not to follow him. He just went home to look for information about this speedster. The next day, Issei woke up a little tired and sore from yesterday's race, and annoyed because he couldn't find any information about that speedster in black, and because our dear Rias called the brunette telling him that she had located his brother. Issei didn't yell at her or anything, he just told her that they would talk about it at the academy. After classes ended, Issei headed to the club. Once inside, he greeted everyone and noticed that they were waiting for him, sitting down and looking very serious. Issei, why is the atmosphere so serious? Rias, Issei, please sit down. Issei, I think I know where this is going, so tell me what's going on. Sitting down. Aquino, Butchu, she's probably already told you it's about your brother. Issei, you didn't have to do it, like I already told you, I don't want to know anything about him. Zenobia, he's your brother. Issei, you have to leave those resentments in the past. Issei, if you only knew that he was the one who left me lying there to die. Asia, Issei-san, I know you can talk to him and come to an understanding. Don't let something that happened so long ago affect you. Issei, okay, tell me where he is. Once the talk ended, Issei and the others headed to the place where they were supposed to find his brother. They arrived at a house that appeared modest and simple. Issei decided to knock on the door along with Rias. The others were waiting outside. Excuse me, what do you want? Issei, what, you don't recognize me? Serious. Rias Issei. Angrily. Issei, okay, hello Hector, don't you remember your brother? Hector, it can't be, it's you. Crying. The boy named Hector, who was the brunette's brother, hugged Issei. The brunette felt a mix of emotions at that moment: anger, melancholy, affection, and tenderness. He was very confused and simply decided to return the hug. Once they separated, Hector invited them inside to find out about Issei and catch up. Hector, it really is you, I thought you were dead. I'm really sorry, I was scared and didn't know what to do. Issei, you know, I really don't know how to look at you, but this was bound to happen eventually, so I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Hector, I know it's difficult for you, and you probably don't see me as your brother. And I understand that, but I want you to give me a chance so that we can start over. The chestnut-haired man didn't know what to answer. Part of him denied the idea, but another part wanted to forgive him. Rias, noticing this in the chestnut-haired man's gaze, took his hand and looked at him as if to say, whatever decision you make, I will be supporting you. Issei, things are in the past now, haha, well, I guess we can try smiling. The conversation continued, and to Issei and Ria's surprise, Hector was also a sprinter. The brown-haired boy decided to have a friendly race with his brother, strengthening their bond. Afterward, Rias offered Hector a place at the academy. Though hesitant, he accepted, which cheered Issei up a bit as it seemed his life was regaining meaning. Even amidst this happiness, he was troubled by the words of that man in black. I'll take everything you own, make it mine, and then destroy. Once the chestnut-haired man was returning home, he remembered to use that book he had asked Surzech for. After that terrible defeat at the hands of that guy, he knew he would need more power. Upon arriving home, he focused on searching for information in that book. There were too many dragons and sacred gears that contained dragons, but the chestnut-haired boy focused on a specific page that contained the image of a three-headed humanoid being. Its name and the letters that formed it were very blurry, yet only 2 words could be read. Issei, last embryo. Whatever, tearing the page, I guess this is enough for me. D-Drake, partner, we need to talk. Issei, what's happening? D-Drake, look, I think you should leave that book about dragons along with that page, it gives me a really bad feeling. Issei, wait, do you know what a last embryo is? D-Drake, no partner, but from what I hear, these are myths that became famous when the age of dragons began. Issei, hahaha, calm down D-Drake, also I need more power, serious. D-Drake, okay buddy, I'm going to rest. Issei, okay. Almost a year had passed and the relationship between the chestnut-haired boy and his brother was growing stronger every day. He still got jealous from time to time because Hector got along very well with the girls. Even though he felt happy, his thoughts were interrupted by Azazel, who was accompanied and appeared at the academy. Azazel, hey Issei, what are you doing here? Azazel, couldn't you be a little friendlier? By the way, do you remember her? Pointing to his side, where a very beautiful brunette was standing. Issei, ohoho Rachel, how have you been? Rainier, blushing, well, I've missed you, and how are you doing? Issei, I guess much better than before D. Azazel, I've heard about the latest events and I'm happy for you, but we need to talk about a serious matter. Issei, okay, start talking. Azazel explained to Issei that Cockabeel had rebelled and wanted to start a war, asking the brown-haired boy for help since this would also affect the demons. Issei, I understand, and when will he appear? Azazel, I suppose he'll come for Rias after all, she's the younger sister of Surzech, the current Mao. Issei, serious, okay, I understand. Azazel, this information is likely already in the hands of the demonic high command, so Rias must already be finding out. One more thing, since Rias doesn't know you've worked with me, I'll send someone to bring Cockabeel to me. Issei to volley, Azazel, ooh, you guessed right. Well, I suppose you've already met him. Issei, it seems that Surzech hired him to help Rias, although they don't know what the Sekiryuutei is. Azazel, in any case, stay alert. See you later, Issei. Rainier, take good care of yourself, Issei-san, blushing. Issei, you take care too, Rachel, smiling. Issei was returning to the club but stopped at the door when he saw Hector talking to the girls, and especially that he was excessively close to Rias. The brunette was very angry because instead of Hector being the one to make advances, it was Rias who was doing it. The redhead noticed his presence and went outside to see the brunette leaving the place. Rias, Issei, where are you going? Issei, I don't lose well anyway, I don't like interrupting couples. Rias, what are you talking about? Are you serious? We were just talking. Issei, for any normal person that's not just talking. Rias, that's enough, Issei. You're acting like an idiot. Besides, I don't have to explain who I'm talking to, we're just interrupted. Issei, guys, that's what you were going to say, right? At that moment the brunette received a slap from the redhead. Rias, maybe that's better. Returning to the club. The chestnut-tired boy was heading to his classroom very angry, but he heard a group of boys saying that a beautiful girl dressed as a magical girl was in the academy. He decided to follow them, but it took him a surprise to learn that this magical girl was Seraphal Leviathan. Issei, I didn't expect this. I never saw such an eccentric Mao. Seraphal, hey you, how do you know that? Issei, I always like to keep up with beauties like you. Seraphal 00W, what are you saying? Hahaha, wait, you're the Sekiryuutei, Issei, at your service bowing. Seraphal, tell me Sekiryuutei-san, do you know where Sonachin is? Issei, the student council president. Well, if I'm not mistaken, she's currently at the swimming club inspecting the place. Seraphal, thank you very much, Sekiryuutei-san. Issei, wait a minute, don't you think you owe me a reward for helping you? Seraphal, oh, I forgot, well then, do you want me to give you this? Showing a picture of herself dressed as a magical girl in a very provocative pose. Issei, that wouldn't be bad, but I'd rather choose my own gift. The chestnut-tired man took Seraphal by the waist and kissed her so intensely that the Mao seemed to lose her mind. Taking advantage of the fact that she was still confused, he separated from her and proceeded to withdraw. Issei, it was a pleasure, Seraphal-sama. Seraphal, he. 00, well, it wasn't so bad. 2 days had passed and the relationship between Issei and Rias wasn't improving. His brother tried to talk to him, but they only argued. The other girls were gradually avoiding him since they liked Hector better, and Issei was acting increasingly strange. But all these problems were overshadowed when Cockabeel was seen flying over the academy. Rias, guys, get ready, everyone except Issei. Yes, but you. Cockabeel, well, this is interesting. We have Surzet's younger sister and her entourage alongside the Sekiryuutei. Rias, you'd better retire, we don't have to come to this. Cockabeel, what are you talking about? I want this. War. At that moment, Cockabeel tried to attack the redhead, but Hector protected her by deflecting Cockabeel's attack at great speed. Rias was shocked and thoughtful to see that the brown-haired boy wasn't the one who protected her, and when she turned to look at him, she noticed that Issei was looking at Cockabeel with anger and rage, not only because he tried to attack Rias, but also because he was already stressed and wanted to take revenge. Issei, Hector, protect them, I'll take care of this. Cockabeel, aren't you being a little arrogant, brat? Issei, balance breaker. The chestnut-tired boy without any remorse attacked Cockabeel, who received all of his blows. Once Cockabeel caught his breath, he too attacked the chestnut-tired boy. The fight seemed to be locked in a stalemate. Rias and the girls were protected by Hector, as the fight was destroying the entire area, surprised by the chestnut-tired boy's attitude and strength. The fight continued, both fighters took blows. During one of these attacks, Cockabeel, tired and frustrated, decided to end it all by creating a giant spear of light. Issei realized the spear wasn't meant for him, but for the girls and his brother. He flew at incredible speed and took the full force of the blast, while Hector simply moved the girls to safety. Now you've really hit the jackpot, Cockabeel, Issei said, creating not one but several small spheres that with a snap of his fingers hurtled toward Cockabeel. Without a chance to dodge, Cockabeel took the full force of the attack. Exhausted, Issei decided to descend and wait for the smoke to clear before picking up Cockabeel's armor. To his surprise, Cockabeel was still standing, panting and concentrating his energy to create another spear of light with what little power he had left. Issei, unsure what to do, simply focused all his strength on defending himself. But Hector, harnessing the energy of his speed force, unleashed a barrage of lightning at Cockabeel, who, caught completely off guard, fell to the ground, utterly defeated. At that moment, the one Azazel had spoken of appeared. The Hakuryuku descended, took Cockabeel's body, and began to retreat, but was stopped by a voice. Are you ignoring me, Hakuryuku? Upon hearing the brown-haired boy's voice, the Hakuryuku simply replied, it's not time yet, Issei. Be stronger, only then can we have fun. The brown-haired boy finally said, see you, Volley. Everyone was stunned as they hadn't known that Volley was the Hakuryuku. A few minutes after the incident, everyone was gathered together. Rias, I can't believe it, Issei. How could you even think of facing him alone? Slaps him. Issei, I finished it, didn't I? What's the problem? Aquino, if it hadn't been for Hector, who knows what would have happened? Issei, what if I defeated him? Asia, Akino-senpai is right. Issei, you know what? Do whatever you want, I'm leaving. Rias, I'm not finished with you yet. Issei, I do. Hector, I don't know what's going on with you, Issei, but you're behaving like an idiot. The chestnut-tired boy was about to attack his brother, but Kiba stopped him. Kiba, Issei, calm down, holding him back. When the chestnut-tired man calmed down, he began to think about the words of the man in black and what was happening right now. Everything seemed to indicate that his brother was the one who wanted to take everything from him. But that thought vanished when he saw that the man in black was a few meters ahead of him. Well, are you having problems? Issei distorted voice. Issei, what the hell are you doing here? I'm always here, Issei. Escaping. Issei, not so fast, chasing after him. Both speedsters were battling at incredible speed through the city. But Issei, already exhausted from his encounter with Cockabeel, was at a significant disadvantage. For the second time, his anger became his downfall, and he was attacked by the man in such a way that Issei couldn't even think straight. The brown-haired boy fell to the ground, and the man simply stared at him. "You'll never beat me, you'll always lose to me. You're nothing but trash." Escaping. Issei, damn it. For the second time he was defeated by that guy. He was so angry and frustrated that he didn't notice that a kind of container was heading right in his direction. At the last minute, Issei dodged it, looking at that object. He noticed that it opened. The brown-haired boy tried to see what was inside, but the darkness of the night did not allow him to see. As they say, curiosity killed the cat, and in an instant, whatever was inside the container attached itself to Issei's. What the hell? He tried to remove it, but that thing held him tightly. It began to spread throughout his body. Issei didn't know what to do. He tried to make one last effort, but he was interrupted because someone spoke to him in his mind. XXXXX, don't do it. I can help you. Issei, I want to be able to. XXXX, I will give you power. Together we will be invincible. I won't give up. Let's go back a while to when our chestnut-tired hero had his first encounter with that man in black. The industrial area where they fought was apparently part of a secret organization called Life Foundation, and through some cameras, they witnessed the fight between the two speedsters. The director of that organization had already found his perfect candidate. Investigator 1, sir, that's. Yes, we already have him. That young man will be the candidate to join our great success. Investigator 2, but sir, he's weaker than the other black guy. Don't you think he'd be a better candidate? Haven't you noticed? Look at the young man, the frustration, the pain, the anger, the necessary components to make him the perfect candidate. Researcher 1, I understand that's what it has in common with the others. Researcher 2, Cletus Cassidy and Eddie Brock were big hits, so to speak. This one will be different, as I'm sure this young man is hiding more than meets the eye. I want you to monitor him at all times, even when he sleeps, and when you see the slightest opening, we'll give him our gift. Researcher 2, sir, don't you think there's a possibility he might reject XXXXX? He won't. I know what I'm saying. Start immediately. Researcher 1 and 2, yes sir, present. Our chestnut-tired friend was in a medical room, not just any room, but one in the underworld. Apparently, some demons who were watching over the city found him lying in the middle of the street and notified Mao Surzets, who immediately took him to the best doctors and researchers to see what was happening with the chestnut-tired friend. Doctor, very well, he has no injuries, the MRI shows nothing out of the ordinary, and he doesn't appear to have been attacked by magic. We will take a blood sample for analysis. Just as they were about to take the blood sample, the brown-haired boy suddenly awoke, and the substance from before began to envelop his body again. Issei's appearance had completely changed, frightening everyone present, who began to run. Issei grabbed one of the nurses by the neck. Issei, where are we, nurse? Scared. Issei, answer us. There's also text in the image, D. Nurse, he left you and went out a few minutes ago. Issei ha shouting while throwing the nurse. That scream sent a shiver through everyone nearby. Elsewhere minutes earlier. Azazel, how is he? Serious? Surzets, I couldn't tell you. He has no injuries, but he was exhausted. Rainier, Issei worried. Michael, we should keep an eye on his condition. After all, he could be one of the pillars of a future alliance between the factions. Everything seemed to indicate that Mao Surzets had summoned the other leaders to discuss the chestnut-tired man's condition. Not even a minute had passed before they heard a scream so terrifying that even they froze, and a cold sweat ran down their backs. Surzets, that scream is coming from. Azazel, there's no time to lose. Lead us to where he is, Surzets. Returning to the chestnut-tired man, he was causing havoc while searching for Surzets. It wasn't long before he saw the person he was looking for approaching him with some companions. Surzets and his companions were surprised and frightened by the chestnut-tired man's appearance. Azazel, Issei, walking towards them, creating sharp, large claws in his hand. Michael, Issei, calm down. No one will hurt you here. Issei in a hurry. Without warning, the dark-haired woman hugged him. Issei remained frozen. Rainier, relax, Issei, I won't hurt you, so don't worry. The chestnut tree calmed down and the substance began to hide, leaving us to see a somewhat pensive Issei. Surzets, I'm glad you're okay, Issei. Azazel, I think it's best if we leave him alone for a while, don't you? Issei, the truth is that I do need a little time. Sorry for the commotion, Surzets. Azazel, well, we'll take our leave. Rainier. Issei, don't worry, Rachin, I'll be fine for now. Go on then, kissing her forehead. Rainier, take good care of yourself, Issei. Once alone, the chestnut-tired man tried to put his thoughts in order. The speedster in black, there was a possibility he was my brother, but he appeared while I was talking to Hector Time Remnant. No, it can't be. I know the limits of his speed. Besides, the time wraiths wouldn't give him a break until they found him. This is complicated. XXXXX, are you okay? Issei, if only a little wait, I forgot what are you, you'd better clear this up once and for all. XXXXX, I am the product of an extraterrestrial organism known to humans as a symbiont. Issei, I've heard about you. I knew that madman called Cletus who possessed one of you. If you're like them, you won't try to take over my body, will you? XXXX, I reach an agreement with my host, that's what I do. Issei, I understand and you don't have a specific name. XXXXX, no, but together we are anti-venom. Issei, wait, that doesn't make sense. As far as I know, that symbiote was black and white, and you're red and black besides. From what I understand, that symbiote died because they used it to heal people in a city. Or something like that, I heard. XXXXX, I didn't die, a company collected my remains so I could survive. I consumed toxin taking on his appearance, I have his abilities and strength. Only when we reach our maximum potential will we return to our original appearance and I will recover some of the abilities I have lost. Issei, it's a little confusing, but I think I understand, but you don't have a name. What do you think of Symbio? It's not a great name, but it's not bad, right? Symbio, I accept it. Didrag, what the hells, who are you? What are you doing here? Partner, what's going on here? What's happening, Doctor? Garcia V. The chestnut-tired man managed to calm the dragon and explain the situation. Didrag, I see, it's not that I dislike it, but it's strain. Issei, hahaha, I understand, but now I have to think about other things. Symbio, I still don't understand the human capacity to be close to something that hurts you. Hahaha, you might be right, but I'm the one at fault and I don't want to lose them. Didrag, the truth is that our new friend is right, but I will respect your decision. The conversation between the three was strange but funny, and so it took him a while to come out and explain the situation to Surzets, not to mention the problems he was having with the girls and Rias. The time for the school festival had arrived. Issei was in class, but he noticed that Asia and Zenovia weren't. He already had a hunch about where they were. The bell rang, signaling the end of classes. Issei headed to the club only to find the girls fawning over Hector, who seemed a little uncomfortable. Issei ignored this and entered the club, simply saying hello. He sat down in one of the armchairs and started reading. The girls and Hector felt awkward, but it wasn't long before they started flirting again. Hector made good snacks, and that was the only reason they were complimenting him. Sadness filled the chestnut tree, but a small Nekomata suddenly sat on its lap. Issei, hehe konkachin, what are you? Kaneko, does it bother you? Sad. Issei, no problem, smiling. The Nekomata noticed the girl's attitude towards Hector and how lonely the brunette was becoming. Determined to be with him so he wouldn't feel alone, she was apparently very well rewarded as the brunette approached her ear and whispered, "Thank you for being with me, Kaneko," and proceeded to kiss the back of her head. This act made the Nekomata blush to unsuspected levels because of the kiss and because he had called her without honorifics, which made her very happy. As the club's activities were about to end, the chestnut-tired boy took the opportunity to talk to Rias, who seemed to be trying to ignore him. Issei, Rias. Rias, what's happening? Issei, I wanted to apologize for what happened and ask for your forgiveness. I know I was behaving like an idiot. Rias, I accept your apology, Issei. Perhaps we can resume our relationship a little later. Blushing. Issei, I hope so too, Rias, smiling. After that brief chat, the chestnut-tired man was heading home, but he felt a strange sensation running through his body. Issei, what the hell? Symbio, there's another symbiote nearby, will we stop it? Issei, of course, besides, I have to train to make us stronger. The chestnut-tired boy went into a sort of alley to activate his suit, but he didn't notice that a blonde and a blue-haired girl were watching him, although they saw his face. Activating the symbiote, Issei launched a web and headed towards where the enemy was. Both girls were shocked after seeing that thing. Fear and confusion overwhelmed them, but they still decided to follow him. The chestnut-tired boy was fighting the other symbiote. Blows were exchanged, still not used to his new power. Issei was at a disadvantage. The situation was bad since he could not use his speed strength because the symbiotes are weak against electricity, and when running, Issei emanated a lot of it. But taking advantage of a moment of inattention from the enemy, Issei launched a kick that sent him crashing into a building. He then pulled him towards him using webs and delivered a knee strike to his stomach, followed by a punch to the jaw. The symbiote seemed stunned on the ground. Issei stepped in front of him to deliver the final blow, but was interrupted by the edge of a blue sword separating them. Issei, now what? Zenovia, stop, you beasts, don't you see all the damage you've caused? The chestnut-tired man, looking around, noticed that the area of the confrontation was in ruins. Issei, he's the one who started the destruction, I was just trying to stop him. Zenovia, shut up, beast. Zenovia's words and Asia's gaze hurt him deeply. At that moment, a magic circle formed on the ground, from which the rest of the entourage emerged, along with Rias and Hector both holding hands. This confused the brunette greatly, as this act contradicted the words the redhead had said to Issei. Anger began to consume him, pain, hatred. The girls took advantage of the thing's confused state and attacked him with large amounts of high-level magic attacks, causing a large explosion that raised a large amount of dust. The smoke dispersed and they thought that was their victory. From the smoke emerged Issei very angry. The chestnut-haired boy began walking toward them. Rias and the others were very surprised since he didn't have a scratch on him. They all began attacking him with powerful bursts of magic, but it didn't stop him. Kiba decided to confront him with a sword and managed to embed it in his abdomen, but Issei grabbed Kiba's hand along with the swordsman's and pulled him toward him, causing the sword to penetrate deeper into his body. He grabbed Kiba by the neck and threw him against a wall. The girls were running out of ideas. Hector stepped in front of them to protect them. In a swift movement, the chestnut-haired boy grabbed Hector with some spiderwebs, knocking him to the ground, and proceeded to trap him by throwing a multitude of nets. The girls were stunned. Nothing they did worked. Kaneko decided to attack him from behind, but the brunette noticed. Even so, he didn't dodge the blow, which didn't even move him from his place. Raising his hand, he transformed it into a kind of axe with which he was going to attack her, but centimeters before he reached her, he stopped. The little Nekomata didn't understand why it had stopped, but she only heard it whisper Ko Kaneko. To her surprise, Kiba got up from the rubble, causing some beams containing metal bars to fall. The sonic waves caused by these bars hitting the ground startled the chestnut tree, which only let out a scream to the sky and jumped to escape, swinging through the city. Far from everything near a zoo, the chestnut tree had already regained its senses. Issei, what the hell happened to us? Symbio, we grow stronger. Your emotions, whether good or bad, nourish us. Issei, did you make me lose control? Symbio, no, that was you. We gave you the power and fury blinded you. Issei, I understand, only remembering when he saw Rias and Hector holding hands. What's going on, by the way? That sound caused me a very strong pain. Symbio, we are weak to sonic waves, fire, and electricity, as you know. However, since I was born on this planet, it seems that these weaknesses are decreasing. To be less vulnerable to them, we need to expose ourselves. Issei, it sounds contradictory, but I suppose you're right. The next day, Issei, as usual, headed towards the academy. A few meters ahead, the girls were surrounding Hector, especially Rias, who was holding his arm as if her life depended on it. The brunette was still confused. After all, it didn't make sense why she'd said that if she was going to stay close to Hector like that. Symbio, what if we kill him? Issei, what are you saying? He's my brother. Symbio, we still need to find the one from yesterday. Issei, right, I escaped for now. I just plan to have a normal day at the academy. Issei-senpai, who are you talking to? Turning around in surprise, he saw little Kaneko. Issei, Kaneko, don't scare me like that. I was just talking to myself. Kaneko, by the way, senpai, yesterday we had an encounter with some kind of humanoid beast. Issei, really? And I'm just finding out now, nervous. Kaneko, I was surprised not to see you with us since Aikno-senpai told everyone. Issei, hehehe, I fell asleep on the way home, so I didn't realize it, ahahaha, very nervous. Kanino, also that thing knew my name, thoughtful and suspicious. At that moment, Symbio had already formed a tentacle on Issei's back to kill the little girl who was already a danger if she knew his identity. The brunette, knowing what Symbio was thinking, simply stopped him by saying, relax, no problem, leave it to me. Symbio calmed down a little. Kaneko, in any case, I suppose we'll see about it later. See you at lunch, Issei. Running towards the academy. Issei, hehehe, he said my name without hahaha, I guess he was just teasing me. Issei, symbiote, I need to reduce the suspicions surrounding me. Any ideas on how to do it? Because sooner or later it will be very obvious that anti-venom will appear when I'm not around and vice versa. Symbio, we can deceive them if I take another host, but all my power will be greatly reduced. Issei, I understand, so we already know how to do this. The day passed normally. Lunchtime arrived and Issei was looking for the little Nekomata because he planned to tell her about the girl's attitude and how he felt about it. However, he froze when he saw little Kaneko being very close to Hector. The brunette didn't know what to do. The last of the girls who understood him also left him. Without them noticing, he overheard their conversation. Hector, you didn't have to have lunch with Issei, blushing and nervous. Kaneko, yes, but I feel better with you. Besides, your food is delicious, hugging him. What bothered the brunette the most was that the girls were coming on to Hector and not the other way around. D-Drag, dude, relax. I know this is shocking, but just calm down, buddy. The chestnut tree ran away from that place at great speed. For some strange reason it felt very dizzy and fell, spinning several times on the ground until it hit a tree. Issei, what koof, what's happening to me? The chestnut-tired boy was coughing up blood. He didn't know why, but it seemed his speed was failing. Hector suddenly appeared and saw the state his brother was in. Hector, Issei, are you all right? I saw you leave and thought you'd misunderstood what happened with Konkachan, offering him his hand to help him up. Issei, don't stick your nose where it doesn't belong. He pushed his brother's hand away and stood up. Hecto, I just thought we could start over, downcast. Issei, you're I'm leaving, opening a magic circle. He left. At that moment, just as Issei had left, a macabre smile appeared on Hector's face, who was surprised without warning by the speedster in black. You look happy. Hector, why wouldn't he be? He doesn't deserve this life I do. Besides, he's already getting suspicious, so I want to get this over with quickly. Laughing, Riasbim wants to talk to you. Hector, why so formal? Why don't you come for me? Considering we have the same goal in common, right? Zoom, hahaha, I'll see you there and be careful. Those things are dangerous, don't let them touch you. They're like poison to us sprinters. Hector, yes, I know, I ran into one yesterday, I hope. It doesn't interfere, we have no countermeasures for beings like that. In the underworld, Surzech was doing some paperwork when he was interrupted by the presence of the chestnut-tired man who asked to speak with him alone. Surzech, Issei, how have you been? Did something happen? Issei, I need your help, I want you to remove the evil pieces. Surzech, but what happened? Surprised. Issei, first let's talk. It didn't take long for the chestnut-tired man to catch him up on what had happened so far. Surzech, I am sorry, I thought this might help, interrupted. Issei, you don't have to apologize, Surzech. To be honest, I haven't given up yet. Surzech, but I don't understand, my sister and the other girls have really hurt you. I'd like to reprimand them, but I don't understand what you just said. Issei, it's not their fault, Hector is doing something and he's probably allied with the guy in black. Surzech, are you sure? Issei, no, and I want to believe that's not the case, I need more proof. Surzech, don't worry, I'll support you. For now, I'll remove the pieces. Issei, thank you, I'll be back in a few days. I'll pick up some things and clear up some matters. Surzech, no problem. Returning home, she packed clothes and money in a suitcase. As she was about to leave, she saw the Book of Dragons and hesitated, wondering whether to take it or not. She decided against it, as nothing in it caught her attention except for the page she tore out, which she tried to decipher in her free time. She left the house and called Murayama to see if she could visit her. Murayama, Issei, what happened? I'm worried about the sudden call, interrupted. The chestnut-tired man didn't let her finish speaking and kissed her. Not caring if anyone else was in the house, he picked her up and laid her down on a living room sofa. The brunette, still stunned, simply went along with it. And so they spent a passionate afternoon in which the brunette was more than satisfied. Murayama, and what is the reason for this charming visit? Issei, can't I visit you and chat for a while? Murayama, hahaha, well, I'd really like to stay like this with you a little longer, but I have to go. Issei, I'm sorry, Murayama. Murayama, what do you mean, faints? The chestnut-tired man took her in his arms and settled her on his bed. Our relationship was truly good, but I can't keep hurting you. This visit was my farewell. Issei then proceeded to erase her memory. From today onward, Hyodo Issei no longer exists. After that, he went to the academy and proceeded to erase the memories of everyone who knew him, except for the student council and the occult research club. He went straight to the club and saw Rias sitting at her table. The other girls were reading and some were playing cards. It seemed Hector wasn't there. Rias, haha, hello Issei, what's going on? Issei, I've come to return these to you, leaving the evil pieces on the table. Rias, I understand it's your decision after all. Issei, it seems our last conversation was a joke, wasn't it? Rias, what are you talking about? Issei, I see, never mind, I'll take my leave. None of the girls seemed to care about the brunette's decision. But they were crying, they didn't know why those tears were coming out, but something still saddened them. Betrayal, and see you soon. The chestnut-tired boy was in the underworld. Surzech had found him a place to stay, keeping him hidden from anyone who might try to find him. The only people who had contact with him were Venelana, Grafia, Surzech, Beelzebub, and Seraphal. 2 months had passed and the boy was searching for information, trying to connect his brother to the speedster in black. Even so, complications soon arose. Issei realized that his speed was being affected every time he used Symbio, and this was getting worse, so he decided to use Symbio only in extremely urgent situations. Issei carried out the missions Surzech assigned him, growing stronger as he went. He discovered that the speedster was named Zoom and hadn't been in the city long. He managed to establish a relationship with the Mau Beelzebub, who helped him find a kind of crystal said to allow one to understand all languages that have ever existed or ever will. This would greatly aid the brown-haired boy in his quest for power. From time to time, he would stop by the academy to see the girls. Although it hurt him to see them like that, he endured it and only reaffirmed his goal of saving them from whatever Hector was doing. After the visit, he decided to go home. Surzech had given him a house that wasn't particularly luxurious but had certain comforts. He had 3 maids, one of whom was Grafia. Their relationship was somewhat complicated, since in front of the other maids it was only a master-servant relationship. But when they were alone, it was a lover's relationship. Apparently, Grafia visited the chestnut-tired man's room once a week to deepen their relationship. Things were more serious with Serafal and Venelana. Serafal visited him whenever she could, just to spend time with him, talk, or have something more. On the other hand, the relationship with Venelana had barely progressed. The brunette only flirted and caressed her to make her tense and see if she would fall into temptation. Venelana, Issei-kun, stop, they're going to see us. Issei, I'll do it if you give me a kiss. As soon as the chestnut-tired man finished the sentence, Venelana kissed him. Everything seemed to indicate that she had succumbed to the chestnut-tired man. Even in that state of lust, Venelana regained her senses and calmed down a little. Issei, wow, I didn't think you were so bold. Venelana, no, that's not it, I'm signing off. See you later, Issei-kun, blushing. A while later, Grafia, Issei-sama, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but Surzech needs you in his office. Issei, okay, thanks Gretchen, see you later, running off at top speed. The chestnut-tired man sped towards Surzech's castle. In the underworld, there was no need to be discreet when using his powers, as demons could barely sense him and couldn't even see him. Entering the castle, he continued to the Mao's office and sat down at one of the chairs at the main table. Issei, did you send for me? Surzech, but I recently told Grafie anyway, I need you for a mission. Issei, and what is it? Surzech, I need you to be my escort. I'm heading to Q Academy since the Three Factions Summit is tomorrow. Issei, it'll be a bit annoying, can I decline this mission? Surzech, I'm sorry Issei, but it's important, I'm only counting on you. Issei, okay, that's fine. Surzech, I know it's still hard for you. Issei, if I want to save them, I have to accept how things are right now. Surzech, I'm glad to hear that, smiling. The day arrived, and the summit of the Three Factions was about to begin. In the room were Rias and her entourage, and the student council president Sona, also accompanied by her entourage. Without warning, Michael entered the room accompanied by Irina, followed by Azazel with Volley, and to everyone's surprise, Issei entered, accompanying Surzech and Serafal. Sona was surprised because the brunette had been absent for too long, not to mention the fact that nobody remembered him. Rias and the girls, on the other hand, were experiencing a mix of emotions that prevented them from thinking clearly. Kiba, Issei-kun, how have you been? Issei, Kiba, well, I guess having a secret life is exciting in a way. Kiba, by the way, I'd like to talk to you later, is that okay with you? Issei, why not? And so the summit began, everything was going well. Azazel, finally, I'd like to ask two people in this room what they think about this, and if they agree, since their power could tip the scales. Sekiryuutei and Hakuryuku, what are your thoughts on this? Volley, as long as I can fight powerful people, I won't complain. Azazel, I understand, and what about you, Sekiryuutei? Issei, I just want to live a peaceful life. Surzech. Azazel, I see, then everything is in order. Without warning, the entire place went dark and time stopped. The faction leaders were unaffected by his power, Kiba, Irina, and Zenobia by their swords, our chestnut-tired friend and Volley by their dragons, and apparently Hector and Rias by the power of speed, since the redhead had contact with it and was able to avoid the effects of Gasper's power. Outside the meeting place, mages began to emerge and attack the gathering. Azazel, Volley, could you take care of the ones outside? Volley, I was probably just getting bored taking out his dragon wings and heading into battle. Surzech, considering all the time they've had to wait to attack and using Gasper, it seems we have a traitor. Azazel, now what will we do to stop Gasper? Rias, I'll take care of him, he's part of my family. Surzech, I'm sorry Rias, but I need you with the rest of your team attacking the mages. Rias, but... Hector, I'll be supporting you, Rias, taking her hand. Issei. Surzech, Issei, could you bring me Gasper? Issei, you don't have to ask like that, you just have to order me, right? Surzech, I'm asking you as a favor. Issei, you don't have to do it, Gasper is a good friend. Having finished saying these words, the chestnut-tired man was about to go after Gasper. Rias, I'm sorry brother, I won't allow him to go rescue Gasper, it's my responsibility. Surzech, that's true, Issei, do it. Issei, okay. At that moment, Issei took a vial out of his pocket, then proceeded to cut his hand with a small blade and put his blood into the vial, capped it and threw himself at Hector, who with some difficulty managed to catch him. Issei, use that. Azazel, I see he could break free from the mage's control with the blood of the Sekiryuutei. Rias, he liked it, interrupted. Hector thanks Issei. Issei, don't thank me, it's just work. After they managed to rescue Gasper, and after Azazel defeated a descendant of Leviathan at the cost of his arm, it was revealed that the traitor was Volley, Lucifer's son with a human. Volley, Issei, what do you think about this? Issei, I really saw your betrayal coming, but it's truly surprising that you're Lucifer's son. Volley, come on Issei, don't be scared, entertain me. Issei, Surzech, get everyone away from here, this is going to get ugly. Surzech, don't overdo it. Issei, I'm not promising anything. Smiling balance breaker. D-Drag, Welsh dragon, balance breaker. Thus began the fight between the two dragons. Flying at great speed, their blows were devastating. Pieces of both suits of armor flew off. Everyone present was impressed and fearful of the dragon's power, especially Hector, whose body tensed and anger flowed as he saw his brother was excessively powerful. Several minutes passed before they both climbed down, a little tired. They looked into each other's eyes and smiled. Regardless of where they were, they decided to go further. Issei and Vali, I the one who awakened. Surzets, Issei, don't do it, you're putting the whole city in danger. The chestnut-haired man did not heed Surzet's warnings, yet the fight was interrupted by Biku's appearance and Vali proceeded to retreat. Vali, keep getting stronger, my dear rival. Issei, anyway, see you, Vali. When the fight ended, Issei went back to talk to Surzets, who had a serious face. The brunette did not make eye contact and just stood behind Serafal. Surzets, Issei, don't do that again, it was dangerous. Issei, I didn't do anything, V. Azazel, you were about to use the juggernaut, interrupted. Issei, you don't have to say it and I didn't use it. Serious. Michael, that power is dangerous, don't use it again. Issei, why am I the only one getting scolded? Vali was going to use it too, what did you expect, that I wouldn't do anything? Pouting. Azazel, that's a point in your favor, but still be careful, you know the cost, right? Issei, yes, I know I'm leaving, let me know if anything comes up. Surzets. Just before he left, little Gasper stopped him by grabbing his arm. Gasper, thank you so much, Issei-san. If it hadn't been for your help in giving me your blood, I wouldn't have been able to wake up. Issei, don't worry, aren't we friends after all? Smiling and stroking his head. Gasper, yes. Cheerfully. Kiba, Issei-san. Issei, yeah, see you tomorrow at the cafeteria. Hector was listening to Issei and Kiba's conversation with a hateful expression. He left without them noticing his presence and headed to his meeting with Zoom and Rizvim. Zoom, what's wrong? You seem upset. Hector, that idiot, how does he have so much power? I already took away what he valued most, or isn't that enough? Zoom, have we failed? Rizvim, well, you don't have to be so upset. Hector, Rizvim-sama, I'm sorry you see me in this state. Rizvim, don't worry, we still need the Sekiryuutei to continue doing what the future says. Then we'll change him and you'll be able to destroy him. Hector, I understand, Rizvim-sama. The very next day, Kiba and Gasper were waiting for Issei at a cafe. It wasn't long before the brunette appeared and took a seat. Issei, hi guys. Kiba, hello Issei, we've missed you. Issei, not everyone thinks like that. Kiba, Gasper, Issei-san. Kiba, I know, that's why I wanted to talk to you. The girls and Rias-sama act really strange sometimes. Whenever they hear your name, it's like they don't care, but then they cry without even realizing it, or they freeze up for a moment, then go back to their activities as if nothing happened. Not to mention the fact that Rias-sama sent me on a mission for a month, and when I got back, things were even worse. Issei, I'm not surprised. Hector must be using something to control them. Gasper, that's what Kibasan and I thought, but we didn't find anything. He wasn't using mind control magic, and he's not very persuasive. We didn't find anything. Issei, how the hell do you do it, Hector? I want you to continue being my way of knowing how the girls are doing. Kiba, if there are no problems, but Issei-san wants to know something. Issei, tell me. Kiba, you're that thing we faced in the city, aren't you? Issei, how did you know? Gasper, what? Kiba, I figured as much since you didn't attack Kaneko and you only focused on keeping us away, constantly looking at Rias. Considering she never reappeared and you weren't there that day, and finally, the magic circle that appeared in your ear for a moment and then disappeared confirmed it. That magic circle is the one Aknasen uses to call us. Issei, you'd make a good detective, Kiba. Gasper, Issei-san, are you that thing? Issei, hey, don't call him that. He'll get upset. For starters, he has a name and it's Symbio. Gasper, Symbio. Kiba, I see it's a symbiote. You're not very creative, are you, Issei? Issei, what's wrong with that? We were in a bind. Besides, he liked it, so there's no problem. Kiba, Gasper, and Issei, ha. They chatted for a while longer about some trivial matters and then said their goodbyes. This meeting was very pleasant for the brunette, as he could feel the affection of his friends and strengthen his resolve to save the girls. Issei returned home, still preoccupied with trying to process all the events so far. To relax a little, he decided to continue deciphering the page of the book. Issei, damn, this is way too complicated even with the crystal. He had tried drawing the magic circle on the ground to see if it would work. The circle began to glow, but nothing happened. Issei, this is disappointing. 2 weeks had passed, and he was still in contact with Kiba, with whom he discussed the girl's situation over the phone. Surzets had sent him on a mission to Kyoto, and he had to remain vigilant in case of any attacks. To avoid being recognized, he decided to alter his face with illusion magic. It was a very beautiful place, not to mention the delicious food. Our chestnut-haired friend decided to go for a walk. The sun was setting and the chestnut-tired boy was starting to feel sleepy, but a feeling of danger lingered in his mind. Not a second had passed when a huge explosion was heard a few meters away from Issei. Without hesitation, he headed towards the source of it. Upon arriving, he saw the symbiote he had encountered at Kyo. The screams of the people and injured people indicated the situation was serious. The chestnut-tired man activated his balance breaker and decided to confront it. A well-aimed blow to the back of the neck would have been enough, but the symbiote was still standing, merely dazed. Issei decided to continue attacking, taking advantage of its weakened state. The symbiote counterattacked, but the chestnut-tired boy's super speed made it completely untouchable. In one of those flurries of blows, the symbiote let out a scream, freezing the boy in place. It wasn't fear, nor was it the speed's effect on him, it was symbiote's scream had enraged him. Everything seemed to indicate that this was the symbiote's last card to make the boy lose control, and he was right. Issei, symbiote, calm down, this isn't good. The symbiote wasted no time and attacked the chestnut tree, which tried with all its might to suppress Symbio. The blows to the chestnut tree did not stop, and taking advantage of the fact that a few meters away there was a tower with a bell, it decided to throw a small magic sphere towards it with the last of its remaining strength. Symbio enemy symbiote. The sounds emitted by the bell tormented both symbiotes. Symbio decided to hide to avoid the effects of the bell, but the other symbiote fled in terror. Issei, I'm sorry Symbio, if this had continued we could have died. Symbio, that was cruel of you. Issei, I had no other choice. Symbio, okay, I understand, sorry. The chestnut-tired man decided to help the injured people. A scream alerted him that someone needed help. Help please, my daughter, Issei, what's happening? My daughter is in very serious condition. The chestnut-tired man, upon seeing the little girl, noticed that she had a number of very serious and deep wounds. If nothing was done now, the girl would die. Issei, symbiosis, could you help me? What? Symbio, this is really dangerous, but I would have to merge with her. Issei, is this the only way? Symbio, unfortunately, yes, and to be honest, the time it would take to heal her wounds would be excessively long since the symbiote seems to be the cause of this. And if we don't treat her properly, who knows what this little one would become. Issei, do it, just do it. The chestnut-tired man didn't hesitate, he wasn't going to let such an innocent child die like that. He placed his hand on the little girl's chest and Symbio proceeded to merge with her. The mother was terrified. What are you doing to my little girl? She exclaimed. I'm saving her, Issei replied calmly. A few minutes later the girl was regaining consciousness. Mother, my daughter, are you all right, girl, hee. Wasn't I dying, confused? Mother, don't worry my child, everything will be all right. Issei, excuse the intrusion, but could I speak with the little one for a moment? Mother, but excuse me, of course you can. Issei, little one, how are you feeling? Girl, I feel good. Issei, that makes me very happy, stroking his head. Girl, hey, big brother, did you save me? Issei, yes, but I didn't do it alone, a friend helped me and he's inside you now. Girl, did a friend help you? Does that mean I'm pregnant? Issei, no, that's not it. Hahaha, well you see my friend joined you to save you and right now he's still helping you so you don't feel bad. Girl, will I ever meet him? Issei, maybe, but you can talk to him, he'll tell you things. He's a bit cold, but he's good. His name is Symbio, take care of him, okay, girl, oh no problem, I'll take care of him. Issei, hey Symbio, I know you're listening. Help this little one, okay, take all the time you need. I'll come and get you when the time is right. Girl, oh, he says it's okay and not to do anything silly while he's gone. Issei, you're telling me that after what just happened against the other symbiote? Haha, well I have to go. Mother, I have no way to repay you for saving my daughter. Issei, don't worry, you don't have to pay me, but I would appreciate it if you kept it a secret. Girl, Anishin is leaving. Sad. Issei, if I have to return to where I came from, I've already finished my business here. But don't make that face. I'll come back when you're fully recovered, so don't worry, okay? Girl, and can we play together? Issei, if we can play smiling, take care, goodbye. Mother, thank you so much and have a good trip. Girl, see you, Anishin. Upon returning to Kyo, he decided to rest for a few days because of everything that had happened so far and the estrangement from his slimy friend. Kyoto. Young Yaokai guard Yasuka-sama, Kanao-sama, are you alright? Yasaka, yes, I feel fine. Kanu, yes, we're alright, Anishin saved us. Young Yaokai guard Hehehe Unishin. Yasaka, it's nothing, let's go home for now, Kanu. Kanu, yes, mom, happy. Laws. The chestnut-tired man returned from his trip, told Surzech everything that had happened and went home. He left his suitcases in the living room, went into his bedroom without turning on the lights and threw himself onto the bed. As he did so, a scream was heard. Issei, what the hell? Standing up and turning on the lights, Rachin, what are you doing in my house, in my bed and naked? Rainer, no, it's not what it looks like. I was just resting. Issei, naked, Rainer, I sleep naked. Issei, so can I rest with you? Rainer, here, it's still too soon for us. Issei, what are you thinking? Giving him a light tap on the head. Rainier means rubbing her nose and pouting. The chestnut-tired man proceeded to turn off the lights and lay down next to her as time had passed. His eyes had become accustomed to the darkness and he could not fall asleep since his bedmate was naked. Rainier, Issei, are you awake? Issei, yes, why? Is something happening? Rainier, I want to ask you a favor. Issei, she's not that brave, so tell me, what is it? Rainier, I want you to take me in and... Issei, don't say it, don't say it. Rainier, and make me yours. Issei, z. Rainier, don't pretend you're asleep, hitting him. Issei, okay, fine, but I want you to think this through. You see, I'm a dragon, and it's certain I'll have more than one woman. I don't want to hurt you and make you believe I'll only be yours. Besides, I want to save the girls. They need me, and I need them. Rainier, I know that, so I'd rather have to share you than not be able to have you at all. Issei, Rachin. Rainier, please, Issei, make me yours, kissing him. Lehman alert, Rainier kissed the brunette, who reciprocated. When they separated, a trail of saliva formed between them. They both began to explore each other's bodies with their hands. Rainier positioned herself on top of him and began to unbutton his shirt while licking his neck. The brunette was surprised to see that the dark-haired woman was the one taking the initiative. Once the brunette was naked, he began to kiss the dark-haired woman. After a few minutes, the brunette began to caress Rainier's intimate area, which caused her to let out small moans. Issei didn't stop. He wanted to continue hearing the voice of the dark-haired girl, but she only grabbed his hand and said, "I'm ready." These words awakened an uncontrollable lust, and without thinking twice, the brunette entered her and thrust relentlessly. Rainier, whose body was so overwhelmed with pleasure that she couldn't even move, clung to Issei. Her excitement was so intense that she scratched him. Issei, however, paid no attention to the pain Rainier caused and continued thrusting into her. The raven-haired girl's moans, once soft and gentle, now echoed throughout the house. "I'm going to come," exclaimed the brunette, and Rainier simply replied, "Together." And so they both reached their climax. After a brief rest, they continued their desire to satisfy their lust. End of Lehman, very short, I know, but I'm not good at that. After copulating like animals, they decided to go to the living room and eat something. The maids who met Issei didn't look him in the eyes and were very red. The brunette knew why but preferred to remain silent and continue on his way. "Rainier, thank you very much." Issei, "Why, Rainier, for taking me and allowing me to be with you," smiling. Those words made the chestnut-tired man cry, since no one, not even his family, had ever said such words to him, words that filled his heart with joy. "Rainier, Issei, are you okay? You're crying." "Issei, it's nothing, and thank you so much for letting me be by your side," smiling and wiping away his tears. Time passed and the dark-haired girl had to leave. "I have to go, I have work and I don't want Azazel-sama to scold me," said Rainier. "Heh, but we just ate," replied the brown-haired boy, pouting. "Rainier, don't be so cocky. Besides, you look cuter when you're more serious," kissing him on the lips. "See you later, Issei, I don't like being caught off guard," blushing. A few weeks later, a banquet was held in the underworld to strengthen the alliances. Demons, angels, and fallen angels were invited. The Catania was also present, but he was on one of the balconies, catching his breath while sipping some wine. It wasn't long before Seraphal noticed Issei and decided to go with him. "Seraphal, don't you think you're a little far from the party?" "Issei, I prefer to enjoy the view," accompanied by a beauty looking at Seraphal. "Seraphal, stop doing that." "Issei, but you like it, right, Seafal?" "I won't deny it, 00, even so, don't change the subject. Shouldn't you have a little fun?" "Issei, I'd love to, but I'm not in the mood. Besides, I have a lot of things to think about." Seraphal, "Well, I have to go now. After all, I have to continue greeting more nobles to strengthen the alliance." See you, kissing him on the cheek and leaving. "Issei, damn it, enough with catching me by surprise, okay," blushing. "Drake, dude, don't you think you should try to socialize a little?" "Issei, it's not the time, Drake. Besides, I don't know how to face the girls who are still being controlled by that idiot." "Drake, make up your courage, Angeo, greet them. You want to save them and not be NEARTHEM. How will you do that?" "Issei, you're right, well friend, wish me luck." The chestnut-tired boy headed towards the center of the party, greeted some acquaintances, and chatted for a while with Azazel. He asked about Rainier, but Azazel said she'd surely arrive soon. After a few minutes, Rias arrived accompanied by her entourage. Our chestnut-tired friend was captivated by the girls' appearance. They wore formal dresses that made them truly beautiful. A few seconds later, he regained his composure, only to realize that Hector was holding Rias' hand. The chestnut-tired boy was trying hard to contain himself, but he managed. Most of the girls saw Issei but ignored him. Only Kaneko greeted him. "Kaneko, hola Issei-senpai." "Issei, hello Konkachan, I wanted to ask you a question, may I?" "Kaneko, okay." Issei, the last time we saw each other, you said we'd have lunch together but you didn't come. Kaneko, did I say that? I don't remember. I think you're mistaken. Besides, I was very happy that day because I was with Hector. I sat on his lap, he stroked me and he kissed me, smiling. Issei, this you're modifying them. I know what you're doing, idiot. Kaneko Issei senpai. Issei, hahaha, sorry Kaneko, I was thinking, but you're right, I think I was wrong. Kaneko, well if that's all, I'll take my leave, senpai. Issei, yes, no, hey, problema. The chestnut-tired boy pondered what Kaneko had said, but was pulled from his thoughts by the sound of Rias and Surzech's voices. Rias, Onasama, I want you to hear my request. Surzech, sure, tell me what it is. Rias, I want to get engaged to Hector. These words broke something inside the chestnut tree. The woman he loved was asking to marry his brother. Surzech, this is bad, where is Issei? Rias, Onasama. Surzech, are you sure, Rias? Even if I accept, you'd have to tell mother, looking around at the brunette. Rias, yes, I know, and that's fine. All the girls love Hector and we want to get engaged to him. Surzech, I understand this is very bad. I guess it's okay. The redhead's eyes met the brunette's, surprised that he hadn't made a fuss. He simply watched as the brunette walked away from that place. Rias, thank you, Onasama. In a distant part was our chestnut-tired boy, who only hit the wall next to him while trying not to shed tears, the pain caused by those words, but his solitude was interrupted. Kaneko, Issei senpai, are you all right? I noticed you left in a hurry, so I thought that interrupted. At that moment, Issei hugged the little Nekomata, who didn't know how to react. The brown-haired boy just kept crying. After a few minutes, he pulled away from her. Issei, I'm sorry, I'm really sorry, I didn't mean to hug you and make you uncomfortable, I just had a bad memory, wiping away tears. Kaneko, Issei, yo. Issei, is something wrong? Konkachan, trying not to cry. Kaneko, I remember your words, you called me by my name and kissed me and it hurts. Issei, what's wrong? Kaneko, are you all right? Kaneko, only my head hurts, but I remember our moments together, smiling. Issei, kissing her on the lips, thank you for remembering me, but I want to know what happened. Kaneko, I don't know, it just happened suddenly. Issei, memory modification, he replaced the memories where I appeared, erasing me and putting himself in my place. Kaneko, I'm sorry Issei, but I don't remember anything else. Issei, don't worry Kaneko, we just have to. Boom, high-quality special effects V. A huge explosion occurred at one of the entrances to the party, from which angels, demons, and fallen angels entered, all wearing identical outfits, and began attacking the guests. Sizech's guards protect the guests. Seraphal, they are our top priority. The confrontation had begun, the intruders were being repelled. Unfortunately, someone appeared moving at great speed and killed many of the guards to everyone's surprise. It was Zoom. The chestnut tree arrived just as Zoom had stopped. Zoom, how do Issei, I told you I would take everything from you and then destroy you. Well, the time has come. Issei, I'm going to shut that disgusting mouth of yours. Zoom, not so fast, I've brought along some old acquaintances of yours, laughing. At that moment, two more speedsters appeared. One of them was older and wore a black suit with red and yellow stripes. On the other hand, the second sprinter was a young man whose green and black suit revealed his blonde hair. Issei, the rival, and Inertia worried. Inertia, did you miss us? Hyaldu, laughing. Rival, because we do. Issei, Surzech, you get everyone out of here, I'll stop them. Both speedsters were former enemies of Issei, whom he managed to imprison in a meta-human prison. Meanwhile, Kaneko was still on the balcony writing something. Kaneko, I hope she reads this and can help Nissan, summoning a familiar and handing them a sheet of paper. Hector, Konkachan, what are you doing here? There's a huge commotion inside, we have to help the guests. Kaneko, get away from me. Hector, Konkachan. Kaneko, I don't know what you did to me, but I support Issei and I won't let anything bad happen to him. Just as he finished saying that, Hector swiftly struck Kaneko in the back of the neck, causing her to faint. That's not right, Kaneko, now everything that was his belongs to me. Rias, Hector, we need help. What happened to Kaneko? Hector, I don't know, I just found her and she was unconscious. Rias, okay, leave Kaneko somewhere safe and let's help stop the intruders. Let's go. Hector, yes. Rias and Sona, both with their respective retinues, were fighting against the intruders. The Maoists Azazel and Michael were protecting the guests from the magical explosions caused by demonic weapons carried by the intruders. A fierce battle was taking place all around, between Issei against the rival and Inertia. Thus our chestnut-tired friend was throwing punches at both of them which they could not dodge. Even so, the chestnut-tired friend was getting tired. The disadvantage was obvious. Meanwhile, Zoom was trying to break the Maoists' barrier by launching beams. Azazel, well, so you're the one who was bothering Issei, aren't you? Zoom, but what to molest, I would say torture. Michael, you're making a lot of enemies. If you keep this up, there'll be nowhere for you to hide. Zoom, I don't want to hide soon, my goal will be achieved and I won't care what happens to me afterward. Surzat, you just want to hurt Issei. Zoom, no, I want to destroy it. That way they'll see it's not so different from us. Seraphal, he's different. He's kind and cares about others even if it has nothing to do with him. Zoom, Seraphal, soon you will see your beloved fall from grace and become a murderer. Azazel, what do you mean? Zoom, you'll see it won't be long now, just wait for it. Saying those words, he disappeared at great speed, leaving the intruding demons to continue attacking the leaders. Meanwhile, the Occult Research Club and the Student Council were repelling the enemies without noticing. Kiba, Sagi, and Zenovia were struck at high speed by Zoom, who stopped in front of Rias only to mock her. Zoom, is that all? Rias, don't get too cocky, Aquino. Aquino, hi butt you. Aquino summoned a powerful thunderbolt from the sky and hurled it at Zoom, who tried to dodge it. However, Zenovia recovered and unleashed a Durandal attack, leaving him with no escape. Kiba took advantage of Zoom's confusion to summon Sword Birth, further limiting his movement. Finally, Rias and Sona attacked from the front, unleashing their destructive power and water magic. A massive explosion engulfed the impact zone. As the dust settled, Zoom was revealed to be completely unharmed, simply laughing at them. Zoom, how disappointing. Rias, we're just getting started. Zoom, nope, I'm done. So the sprinter ran and hit each of the members who attacked him. They all fell to the ground, unable to withstand the blows they received. Zoom, approaching Rias, how I'd love to kill you, but you're not the main act. Saying that, he disappeared. Meanwhile, the chestnut-haired boy continued fighting against the two speedsters who wouldn't even let him think about a strategy. Issei was getting more and more tired. It seemed his speed was failing, since the contact he had with the symbiote had caused it to deteriorate. Issei Dragon necesito ayuda. Didrag, what's up, buddy? Issei. Instead of doubling my strength with your power, I need you to double my speed. Didrag, it's dangerous. If I double your speed every 10 seconds, your body will start to feel fatigue faster and your speed power will be greatly affected. Issei, if we don't do something now, it'll get worse. Didrag, okay, partner. At that moment, his speed began to double and he was finally able to counterattack, dodging Inertia's blows and redirecting them to rival. Then he tricked Inertia into believing he would continue forward, but he turned around and punched him in the stomach. He tackled rival and proceeded to punch him in the chin. Just when it seemed that our chestnut-haired friend was gaining the upper hand, Zoom pushed him, causing him to fall and roll a couple of times. Issei, it seems you don't have enough confidence to face me alone, enduring the pain and getting up. Zoom, I don't want to face you. At that moment, more intruders appeared. A demon and a fallen angel were holding two people whose faces were covered with bags, and they threw them to the ground right in front of Zoom. Fallen angel and demon, we brought them, sir. Zoom, perfect, now it's your time to suffer, Issei. So Inertia took the bag from one and Rival took the bag from the other, revealing that the hostages were Matsuda and Madohama. Matsuda/Madohama, Issei. Matsuda, please help us. Madohama, you have to help us, please. Issei, Zoom, let them go now, angry. Zoom, relax, this is just the entrance, kill them. Issei, new. Upon hearing those words, Inertia and Rival pierced the chests of both boys who, after an agonized scream, fell lifeless to the ground. Only one thought ran through the chestnut-haired boy's mind: to fix everything, go back in time and save his friends. He wanted to go back and prevent all of this. Determined to do so, he got ready and started running, but he didn't notice the three speedsters intercepting him and grabbing him. Issei was helpless, kneeling on the ground, held down by Inertia with one arm and by the Rival with the other. Zoom, no, as long as we can deflect your speed force, you won't be able to travel to the past. Issei, I'm going to kill you. Zoom, I don't think so, hitting Issei. Our chestnut horse was very tired and extremely injured from the blows he was receiving. Zoom, oh, I almost forgot, it's time for the main course, laughing. Thus Zoom, along with Inertia and Rival, who were still holding Issei, headed to the center of the chaos where everyone could see what was about to happen. Zoom, today everyone will witness your downfall, how you couldn't save anyone. Zoom opened a breach from which he pulled out a dark-haired girl, a very beautiful girl, that girl who gave herself body and soul to the brunette. Issei, let her go. You're going too far, very angry, trying to break free. Rainer, Issei crying. Issei, let her go. Everyone watched this scene, their bodies unable to move due to fear and shock. Zoom has lost Hayadu Issei. Issei, no. A heartbreaking silence filled the place. All that could be seen was the woman who had declared her love for the chestnut-haired man being pierced through the heart by the sprinter's arm. The necessary power. The chestnut-tired man, who had been restrained to witness the gruesome scene, broke free from his captors, struck them, and proceeded to attack Zoom with his sacred gear, who, without time to react, took the full force of the impact. He continued to approach the dying body of his beloved. Issei, Rainier. Calm down, Ray, everything will be alright, crying. Rainier, Issei. Issei, don't worry, it'll go back in time and save you, okay? Just relax. Rainier, promise me. Issei, I promise you, interrupted. Rainier, promise me you won't do it. Issei, what are you talking about? I have to save you. Rainier, cough, 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 look at me, the little time I spent with you were the best of my life. Issei, no, don't do this to me, I can save you. Rainier, I'm very happy, but you have to let things take their course, promise me. Issei, I can't. Rainier, Issei. Issei, I promise you. Rainier, thank you, don't forget. You can still be happy, I'm glad I met you, goodbye my Issei. The dark-haired woman's body began to glow. Her wings changed color to pure white, and then her body dispersed into many small lights that surrounded the chestnut-tired woman, and then proceeded to vanish. The place was completely silent, a silence broken by the man who murdered Rainier. Zoom, I told you before and I'll tell you now, you lose and I win, interrupted. The speedster was interrupted by a blow to his stomach, which left him speechless and surprised because he never saw when the brunette moved. When he raised his face, he could see, but like Issei's face, it was gloomy and lifeless. Inertia and Rival, who were about to flee, were stopped by Issei, who at great speed broke both of their legs, and only a scream of pain could be heard. Zoom, still reeling from the blow, was kicked against the wall by the chestnut-tired man. He calmly walked towards him and proceeded to kick him repeatedly until Zoom fell unconscious, but he stopped. It's not your turn yet, he said, turning to Inertia and Rival. First, always the entrance, right? He exclaimed, looking at the two speedsters lying on the ground. Inertia, if you're going to kill us, you can do it quickly with your balance breaker, right? What are you waiting for? Trying to hide his. Issei, kill you quickly. Why would I be merciful to you? I don't need to activate it to kill you. I want you to see my face when I make you scream in pain. And so he proceeded to torture Inertia. He picked up spears scattered on the ground and plunged them into each of Inertia's limbs. Only the speedster's scream of pain could be heard. Everyone was still surprised by how quickly the situation changed. The intruding soldiers were the first to react, but Issei snapped all their necks before they could interfere. The shock was replaced by fear of the brown-haired man who continued to torture Inertia. Vibrating his hand, Issei attacked Ineria's organs but avoided vital points, breaking his muscles and bones one by one. The opponent tried to escape, but just before he could get away, Issei caught him. Where were you going? The brown-haired boy said, cutting off one of his legs. Rival, Issei. I know you're anxious for your turn, but I'm not finished with Inertia yet, so be good and wait here. Where the hell is he going to go with one leg, dude? I proceeded to continue with Inertia, who was still conscious and begging me to kill him once and for all. Issei, your voice is very annoying to me. Thus the chestnut-tired man, by vibrating his arm, severed Inertia's vocal cords. Stop, exclaimed Mao Surzech, do you intend to break your promise to that young woman? Speaking for the second time, the chestnut-tired man merely looked at him. It seems you didn't hear me correctly, Surzech. I promised Rainier that I would never travel through time, but I never promised her that I wouldn't take revenge, replied the chestnut-tired man, beginning to vibrate his arm, pointing it at Inertia's heart. Seraphal, don't do it. This isn't you, don't give them the benefit of the doubt. Issei, what makes you think I'm not like them? I'm not like Flash or Kid Flash or any of those other speedsters. They lock them up only for them to escape again and cause more harm. This is the best solution. Beelzebub, Issei, even if you do that, it won't bring Rainier back. Issei, you're right. Upon hearing those words from the chestnut-tired man, everyone began to calm down, but it wasn't over yet. Issei, you're right, but it'll make me feel better, piercing Inertia's chest. Inertia Halig. Everyone was stunned. They never expected such a tremendous act from the chestnut-tired man. He simply stood up and walked towards Rival. Rival, no wait, don't do it, I can help you, okay? Wait, what's he doing here? Scared and stuttering. Issei, so you already noticed, smiling. Issei, he's already dead, you can take him. Issei, not them yet, they still have to learn their lesson. Rival, no, don't do it, don't let him take me. No one understood who the chestnut-tired man was talking to or why Rival was so scared. Zoom, who had recovered, ran to escape, and the chestnut-tired man followed him throughout the underworld. Zoom hadn't realized that the brunette's speed was extremely high as he was boosting it with his boosted gear. Thus, Zoom was slammed against the walls of some houses and fell defeated to the ground. Issei, nice try, now I'm going to make you suffer more than you made me. But I want to see your face and enjoy your expressions of pain even more, removing the mask. Zoom, you'll regret it, laughing. Issei, impossible. Then she saw the sprinter's face, and she recognized it immediately. Zoom, are you so surprised? You should have suspected it by now. Issei, you are a remnant of time. Zoom, correct, and what will you do now? Laughing. Issei, I can still kill you, but why reject him? Zoom, Issei, since you're a remnant, he must be eager to see you. Zoom, scared. Issei, I see a little fear. Yes, that he tortures and kills you. I can't imagine how painful and terrifying it must be. They say it's unbearable to watch, but I'll do my best. Zoom, NNO, don't do it, P, please. Issei, XXXXXX. Zoom, NOO, scared and screaming. On the other hand, apparently the Chaos Brigade sent Volley's team to carry out an attack on the banquet held by Surzets, but when they arrived they only saw destruction and the lifeless bodies of many soldiers that seemed familiar to them, not to mention that they saw a rival crawling trying to escape with his little strength. Volley, looks like someone beat us to it, smiling. Surzets, the Chaos Brigade is here, prepare to fight. Volley, I don't think you're in a position to fight Mao Lucifer. Biku, wow, what happened here? Something big really happened. Kuroka. Azazel explained the situation to Volley and his team, who were surprised by what the brunette had done. Volley, I suppose I'll go look for him. Besides, I only came here to have a meeting with him. Azazel, it won't be necessary since he'll surely come back for him, pointing at rival. And as if it were an oracle it happened, and the chestnut-tired man returned to the place, looking for rival, and only saw him being healed by Asia since Surzets wanted information about the attack. Volley, so you're here, how do Issei, how about we have a meeting? Issei, ignoring him, he walked towards his rival. Volley, are you ignoring me? Standing directly in front of Issei. Issei, this has nothing to do with you. Volley, get away. Volley, make me. With that, Issei swiftly struck Volley in the abdomen. That's how it has to be, you're my rival after all. Volley responded, wincing slightly. Both activated their balance breakers. The fight had begun, but Issei was determined to kill him. The battle was so fierce that the area was completely destroyed. After a brief moment, the brown-haired boy's patience ran out. Issei, get out of my way, Volley. This is the one and only warning I'm going to give you. Volley, and what do you plan to do? Issei, I the one who awakened. Volley, hey, are you serious? Well then, I'm the one who woke up. Issei/Volley Juggernaut Drive. Thus the battle of both dragons was spectacular. Gusts of wind and rocks flew everywhere. Everyone present was taking shelter and the Maoists were thinking about how to stop them. On the other hand, Seraphol was sad and scared by the attitude the brown-haired boy was taking, and Rias was crying. She didn't know why, but she just cried. It hurt her to see Issei in that state, but she didn't know why. The two dragons continued fighting, one for fun and the other to kill. This battle was witnessed by a little girl with black hair who just smiled. In one of those many clashes between the two, Issei managed to land a blow that stunned Volley enough to stun him, which he did not waste. Issei Longinus Smasher. With this attack, Volley was thrown against a nearby mountain. Seraphol, that's enough, Issei, come back to me. Issei, ignoring her. Seraphol, please come back to me, just please come back. Crying. Issei, it will be. As soon as he saw Seraphol's tears, he began to calm down, and little by little his transformation began to fade. The chestnut-tired man was completely exhausted, his bones felt like they were about to break from the sudden transformation and his speed was failing him completely. Even so, he walked to Seraphol, fell to his knees and hugged her. Seraphol, calm down, stay with me. Issei, I couldn't save her. Seraphol, I lose, but you don't have to do this. She wouldn't have wanted it this way. At that moment, through the tattered suit the brunette was wearing, his cell phone started ringing. His phone is made of Nokia parts, so that thing is indestructible. It wasn't a familiar number, but something told him he had to answer. Hello, can you hear me? Wow, that was truly spectacular. I never imagined I'd go that far for that bitch, hahaha. Issei, where are you? At your house? Well, it was your house, then you moved to the underworld, right? Anyway, I'm waiting for you. Issei, you'd better not be there when I arrive. Don't worry, this is our moment between brothers, right? Issei, as you wish. Hector, hurry up, little brothers. Upon answering the call, Issei got up to head towards Hector, but Mao Lucifer was standing in front of him. Issei, what's happening? Surzets, after everything that just happened, you say that. Issei, if you're going to criticize me, do it after I get back, okay? Seraphol, where are you going? Worried. Issei, I have something to finish. Surzets, I'll be waiting for you. Issei, okay. Seraphol, she'll come back to me if. Issei, I'll come back for you and the others, so don't worry, stroking her head. On the other hand, Hector was waiting for his brother and it didn't take long for him to appear. Hector, well, you're here, interesting, you took longer than usual, what's wrong running? Issei, I have enough strength to finish you off. Thus began what would be their final battle. With his balancer breaker activated, combined with his speed strength, he was massacring Hector, who was powerless to defend himself, tearing the house apart until it collapsed. Hector took advantage of the confusion to escape the barrage of blows he was receiving. Hector, it seems you cared for Mom and Dad, since you decided to build this house right where the rubble of our past remains, little brother. Issei, don't get me wrong, I just wanted to make it clear that what happened doesn't affect me. Hector, wow, you've matured. Weren't you the Issei who didn't kill, the one who had friends, the one who had Rias Gremory's love? You had everything, but you deserve nothing. Issei, I earned it with my own power. Hector, I was really surprised when I saw you with Razor. I couldn't believe it. The Sekiryuutei who was supposed to be dead was alive. Issei, life has its disappointments, smiling. Hector, yes, I was so angry. I was thinking of confronting Razor at the last minute, and thus gaining Surzet's favor and keeping Rias Gremory and her entourage, but you appeared. Issei, it was just karma, don't you think? Laughing. Hector, are you laughing? Well, let me explain. I didn't know what to do. You appeared being a speedster and the Sekiryuutei, you took what was mine. Issei, you're a maniac. Yours. When did I ever think that? You just wanted to go and take something that wasn't yours like a spoiled brat. Hector, now I'll give you something to laugh about. Do you want to know how I made them? Issei, you were replacing me in their memories. I know that now. Hector, oh, very good. You're very clever, little brother, but do you know how I did it? Issei. Hector, use this, showing a small vial. This is a special powder, very difficult to obtain. It's called succubus blood. I think you're starting to understand. Issei, every time you prepared something for them, you gave them a dose of that. Hector, that's right, I'm a good cook, but here's the interesting part. This powder doesn't work on its own, it needs a catalyst. Issei, and what is it? Hector, feelings. For this powder to work, the person who consumes it must have at least some romantic interest or attraction towards the person supplying it, smiling. Issei, you're lying. Hector, ha 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 ha. At this point, there's no reason to lie anymore. Issei, you're lying. Hector, just accept it. I really was planning to use this powder on Rias and the other girls if my main plan worked. Issei, Kaneko is no longer on your side, she interrupted. Hector, don't worry about her. I already gave her a little so that she'll gradually forget, although my original plan didn't work. Your interference brought me what I needed. Issei, what? Hector, I'm sick, little brother. In trying to make myself faster, I used an experimental injection and it worked, but now I'm dying. Issei, you want mine? Hector, yes, I need your speed so I can be the fastest man alive. Not even Flash can beat me, so be a good brother and help me out. Issei, you evil ones really like to give your monologue before winning, don't you? Thanks to that, I was able to rest a bit and give us time to come up with a plan. Hector, shall we come up with it? Without warning, he was struck from behind by Issei. Impossible, Hector exclaimed, but when he looked ahead again, he realized that Issei was still standing. You're not the only one who can create remnants, brother. And so the two Isseis fought against Hector, who desperately tried to dodge all their attacks. Issei punched him in the chin while his remnant focused on striking Hector's lower body. Stop, he yelled desperately. In a moment of carelessness, he struck the remnant and tried to lunge at Issei, but he failed because he didn't notice that the brown-haired man vibrated his molecules so that the blow only passed through him. Recovering from the blow, the remnant caught Hector from behind, immobilizing him. Issei, you won't escape. Hector, let go of the trash. Issei, I really didn't want to do this, but I can't let you live after what you did to Rainier. His arm vibrates. Hector, you don't have the guts. If you kill me, you'll kill the rest too. You don't have the courage to kill yourself. Issei, he's willing to do it so you'll stop hurting others. He'll give his life to take you with him. Hector, don't you dare. Thus the chestnut tree pierced Hector and his remnant. As soon as both bodies fell to the ground, the remnant disappeared and Hector was dying. Issei, I really thought we could be brothers again, but now I can finally rest. Hector, cough cough. If you rested, little brother, laughing. Issei, Hector, we'll give you the rest you so desire, cough cough. The chestnut-haired man was confused by his brother's words, but by the time he realized what was happening, it was too late, as the edge of a sword pierced his back. Hector, now you can rest, little brother, laughing maniacally. Issei, cough cough. When did you create another remnant? Cough cough. Hector, I'm fast. Issei, if that's all, a simple sword won't be able to vomiting a lot of blood. Hector, didn't you ever stop to think where I went during the entire banquet? I went to the trouble of going all the way to the realm of angels just to get this sword. Issei, it's a koof. Hector, a dragon slayer, a scallon. Issei, you're a bastard. Hector, don't worry, Issei, I'll make better use of your speed and your dragon. Now you can rest. The chestnut-haired man refused to accept defeat. He knew he couldn't ask D-Drake for power since he was in a deep sleep due to his forced transformation. With the last shred of willpower he had left, he made one final effort. Issei, I can't kill you, but you'll still die. His whole body begins to vibrate. Hector, no matter what you try, just he realized, don't you dare. The chestnut-tired man vibrated his entire body, causing the little speed force he had left to accumulate in his hand. He proceeded to raise it, and all the speed force he had left shot out into the sky. Issei, try to reach a ray, you idiot. Hector, no. Issei, Rias, girls, Seraphal, Rainier, I couldn't come back, I'm sorry, but at least I'll make sure he dies too, I'll see you soon, my Rainier dying. Hector, you're A, and so the chestnut-tired man closed his eyes, slowly surrendering to the cold embrace of death knowing he had failed. But at the same time, he had been able to take his revenge. 4 years. 4 years have passed since Issei Hyaldu's departure. Everything happened as Hector wanted. Nothing changed except that Hector was now the Sekiryuutei and had many achievements, even managing to seal Trihexa without the faction leaders needing to sacrifice themselves. Rias Gremory's entourage remained attached to Hector. After these events, Kiba and Kaneko are wanted as renegade devils for what appears to be an act of betrayal against Rias. Hector's actions increasingly annoyed everyone, but in the interest of maintaining peace they did nothing. On the other hand, Volley was still thinking about his former rival, since he didn't consider Hector a worthy successor. The supposed defeat and death of Rizvim was a farce covered up by Hector. For some reason, Kuroka felt disappointed in herself and very sad because of her sister's situation, but something else was weighing heavily on her. In the human world, a chestnut-tired woman could be seen taking care of a beautiful child no older than 3 years old. On the chestnut-tired woman's face, a little melancholy could be seen for some reason. Mao Beelzebub and Mao Seraphal spent a lot of time together since the death of the chestnut-tired man. Everything seemed to indicate that they were hiding something, but no one could discover what it was. On the other hand, according to Hector's statement, he said that he found Issei dying in the human world. Apparently, he had a battle with someone, and in his last moments of life, he left his sacred gear to Hector. Many didn't believe this story, but they had no way to confirm it. Kunu, Yasaka's daughter, went out into the world looking for someone. She still had Symbio, who, after learning of Issei's death, almost forced Kunu to kill Hector, but the little girl managed to calm him down. But the truth is this. That fateful night. Hector, you wretch, even so I have your dragon. Issei hahaha Didrag will never accept you laughing. Hector, you think so? You shouldn't have wasted this book. It has many methods for subduing dragons, but since you're an idiot, luckily for me, I'm a prodigy and very intelligent. Issei cough, that's why you're always alone, brother. Hector, no, you're the one who's alone like you always have been. Issei, if that's all you're going to say, then just leave and let me die in peace. Hector, speaking in a strange language. Issei, what the hell are you saying? Ak, what the hell are you doing? Ak. Thus, from the chestnut-tired man's chest emerged the evil pieces and his sacred gear. Hector, now I'll leave taking both objects, rest well, little brother quickly escaping. Issei, this is how I'm going to die, how pathetic I am. Just before he succumbed to death, I noticed that among the rubble a brilliant light shone brightly. Issei, what the hell? The chestnut-tired boy realized that the light was coming from the magic circle he had drawn once and he crawled toward it. The circle reacted to him, intensifying its light. Issei tried to remember what it said on that page. Strangely, he could now understand its language. Issei, cough, here lies the King of Kings, the one who killed God. This is the ultimate proof. As he finished speaking those words, the magic circle activated and teleported the chestnut-tired man. Didn't know where he was, everything was dark, but he managed to make something out. It was that strange humanoid figure. It kept getting closer until he could see it completely. Was it a dragon? He wasn't sure. It was twice the size of an average human. It had 3 heads and its 6 eyes were fixed on the chestnut-tired man. Issei, what are you? Azzy Dahaka, humanity's last test. Issei, impossible. Azzy Dahaka is a gigantic dragon. Dahaka, don't confuse me with that weak dragon from your world. Issei, you're not from this world. Dahaka, I go to different worlds destroying them, but I'm already tired of it. Issei, the life of a dragon is so complicated, huh? Dahaka, and you, what's your name, young hero? Issei, Hyaldu Issei, and I'm not a hero, I just died trying to be one, laughing at himself. Dahaka, you know, normal human could come to this place. At that moment, that dark world began to tremble. Issei, what's going on? Dahaka, the speed force is looking for you. How did you get here while dead? It's claiming you. Issei, do you know about speed strength? Dahaka, I have all the knowledge of the past, present, and future. Issei, that's impressive. It seems this is the farewell smiling. Dahaka, it seems so, but first with his claws, he touched the chestnut-tired boy's forehead. Issei, what are you? Dahaka, this is my gift to you for having come this far. Issei, this is I'd like to know your full name. Dahaka, Azzy Dahaka, Slayer of Dragons and Gods, humanity's final test. Issei, thank you very much, Azzy Dahaka. Dahaka, you don't have to thank me now, go back to where you belong, young hero. I'll remember your name, how do Issei. And so that world shattered like glass, the dragon's presence vanished. A blue light illuminated the place. It wasn't long before someone Issei knew appeared. Issei, so you've come to take me away, huh, Black Flash. BF, you don't seem surprised. Issei, hahaha, I saw it coming, take me already. BF, why the rush? Issei, I need to talk to the Speed Force. BF, I see, then let's not waste any time. Thus Black Flash brought Issei with the Speed Force. FV, Issei, you're finally with us. Issei, yes, but I want to go back, I need to go back. FV, why are you telling us that? Issei, I have a promise to keep. FV, we cannot allow it. Issei, I never said I'd do it for free. FV, what do you mean? Issei, I know it bothers you when they break the rules, so I can help you with that. FV, we agree, but we can't release you immediately. Issei, how long do I have to spend here? FV, for as long as necessary. Issei, okay, Rias, Aquino, Zenobia, Irina, Asia, Kaneko, Kiba, Serafal. I'll come back, save you, and fix everything, just wait for me, please wait for me. For a mediocre man to defeat a genius, he has to become a demon. Issei, rebirth. 6 years since the chestnut tree died, 6 years of sadness for some, and joy for others, but today that will end. Underworld. Ajuka, I can't guarantee anything after all. Everything we know about the Speed Force is thanks to what Rival told us before he disappeared, and Ms. Tracy Brand. Serafal, how long will it take to be ready? Ajuka, in a couple of hours. Serafal, well. Kanu, is everything all right? Ajuka, Kunausen, we are truly grateful to you for bringing Miss Tracy to us, but I believe she shouldn't be here. Serafal, don't worry, Ajuka, she wants to see him too, after all, he saved her life. Kanu, I'll finally be able to see him again. Ajuka, we will start in an hour and a half preparation. Kyoseti. Kiba, well, that's all. Are you done with your room, Konkachin? Kaneko, yes, it's already sorted, but I'm a little busy with the little one. Kiba, he is very hyperactive. Kaneko, yes, hey Kibasan, do you think we'll ever see him again? Kiba, we have to have hope. From what Serafal-sama said in her letter, it seems today will be the day. Murayama, I'm back, is everything all right? Kiba, yes, Murayama-san. Kaneko, thank you so much. Murayama, you don't have to thank me, guys. Kiba, of course he saved us and is giving us lodging. We really don't have any way to pay him back. Murayama, okay guys, don't worry about that. On another note, how has my treasure been behaving? Kaneko, good, but he's very slippery. Murayama, my little ones. Kiba, well, I'm off, I have to go to work. Murayama/Kaneko, take care. Murayama, you have the same eyes as him, melancholic smile. Kaneko, she's still waiting for him, isn't she? Murayama, I will always wait for him. Kaneko, I might see him very soon, murmured. Murayama, did you say something? Kaneko, no, nothing. Murayama, well, I have to cook, could you watch him? Kaneko, you don't even have to ask me. Murayama, thank you. Asgard. Odin, Rossweisse, I really thought you'd stay in Rias Gremory's entourage. Rossweisse, I decided against it, since the young Sekiryuutei is very arrogant and thinks he's a conqueror. Odin, I heard from Azazel that the previous Sekiryuutei was his brother. Rossweisse, I would have liked to meet him. Odin, I agree, well, for now. The father of all felt a very strange sensation, he knew something was coming. Rossweisse, are you alright, Odin-sama? Odin, don't worry, but many problems are coming. Ajuka, we're about to start. Serafal, well. So Ajuka gave the order and they began. It was a kind of bazooka made by Tracy Brand with demon magic, aided by Ajuka. As planned, it would open a hole in the Speed Force from which Issei would emerge for this. A speedster would run in circles inside the hole, acting as a lightning rod so he could get out, but there's a chance that another speedster, or several of them, could emerge. And so they turned on the machine. So far everything was going well. The hole opened and it's time for the speedster to do his job, and this was Kiba's. That's right, at some point he became a speedster. The most he ever said was that he was struck by lightning a few days after the chestnut-tired man's death. And so the experiment began. Everything seemed to be going in order after the shot. Kiba started running, the portal was stabilizing, but it closed suddenly. Serafal, no, it can't be. Ajuka, I'm sorry, but it seems we failed. Kano, it can't be. Kiba, something came out. Ajuka, what? Serafal, what came out? Kiba, don't you see it? It's right there pointing at nothing. Kanu, there's nobody there, Kibasan. Ajuka, that's it. Kibikun, try talking to him. Kiba, hello BF, can you see me? So thanks to you they were able to open a portal to the Speed Force. Kiba, W, who are you? BF, that would be a bit long to explain, but you guys did this for Issei, right? Kiba, yes, where is he? BF, relax, old man. Everything's fine, but I can't let him out here, it would be dangerous, so I'll let him go somewhere else. See you disappearing. Kiba, goodbye. Everyone was left wondering and confused about what had happened. Seraphol, what just happened? Ajuka, if you remember that time Issei talked to someone we couldn't see on the day of their death. Kiba, was I talking to that? Ajuka, what I could deduce is that it is part of the Speed Force, but only speedsters can see it. Kanu, what did he say to you? Kiba, it's dangerous to release him here, what will I do somewhere else? That's what he said, Seraphol, and what does that mean? Ajuka, surely the energy used for the exit could affect us. Kanu, then we just have to wait. Tracy, I apologize for the interruption, but we detected a large amount of dark matter in Q City. Ajuka, it's already happening. Seraphol, where? Tracy, Q City is. Ajuka, let's go quickly. Q City. Kiba, Ajuka-sama, I'm here now, but... He couldn't finish speaking because right in front of him a gigantic portal opened, from which many rays of light emerged, and little by little the silhouette of someone familiar appeared and slowly approached. Ajuka, we're here. I can't believe it, emerging from a magic circle. Seraphol, what is this? Surprised. Kano, there it is. The chestnut-tired man who had longed to return was finally seen, but he looked more muscular and changed. Ajuka, I'm glad we can ag. He couldn't say anything else because Issei grabbed him by the neck. Ajuka, Issei, it's me. Ajuka, Issei. Kiba, Issei, calm down. Seraphol, Issei, hugging him from behind and crying. Issei, I came back, releasing Ajuka. Kanu, everything is fine. Kiba, Issei, everything is alright now. Issei, I'm back, crying. After everything calmed down, they went to Seraphol's house where they gave him clothes because, well, he'd come out naked. What did they expect, that he'd magically appear with clothes on? Needless to say, Seraphol and Kanu couldn't stop admiring such a body. After getting dressed, they sat down to talk. Issei, 6 years. That's not possible. Ajuka, a lot has happened. Issei, I can imagine. Seraphol, I'm really happy to have you back with us. Issei, I'm sorry, I told you I'd come back, but I didn't think it would take me this long. Seraphol, the important thing is that you are here. Kanu, I think the same. I've been wanting to meet my savior. Issei, you're confusing me. Kanu, you don't have to lie to me. Symbio has told me everything. Symbio, you're a real idiot letting yourself lose like that. Issei, Symbio, wait, that's the first thing you've said to me. Symbio, what do you want me to say? Issei, did you miss me or something? Symbio, that's bullshit. Besides, it's obvious I missed you. Issei, you're right. Symbio, then why are we shouting? Issei, no loss. Everyone had the horses. After that nostalgic reunion, they went their separate ways to minimize what had happened and hide it as much as possible. Only Kiba, Kanu, and the brunette were present. Issei, I need a drink. Kanu, no, you just got here and you're thinking about drinking. Kiba, hahaha, we have a lot to talk about, but we have to go. There's something you need to know as soon as possible. Issei, and that's it. Kiba, I'm not the right person to tell you this. Kanu, you have to see it for yourself. They took the long way around to explain everything possible to the chestnut-tired boy, and thus they arrived at a house unknown to Issei. Kiba, go ahead and knock on the door. Issei, but... Kanu, don't worry, just do it. After a few seconds the door opened and a child asked him. Who are you, Issei? Well. Kiba, hello. Ohoho, Uncle Kiba, Kanuonchin, Mom Kiba is here, we have a visit. Murayama, what have I told you about shouting? It's not necessary to shout. Issei and the brunette were speechless when they saw each other. A tear appeared on Murayama's cheeks. Kiba and Kanu understood the moment and distracted the little one so that the two could talk alone. Issei, well. Murayama, slapping him, how could you? Issei, sadly, I'm sorry. Murayama, how could you do that to me, hugging him? Issei, I'm really sorry, I didn't mean to involve you and put you in danger. Murayama, don't ever leave me again, kiss. Issei, I won't. After they both calmed down a bit, they continued their conversation. Issei, but how did you manage to remember everything? Taking a sip of tea. Murayama, I owe it to my little angel. Issei, so that kid is your son, huh? I'm glad. Murayama, our son. Issei, if our hi what? Murayama, it's your son, Issei. The chestnut tree dropped its teacup. Issei, a son trembling. Murayama, I know it's hard to swallow, but... The brunette didn't finish speaking because Issei left at great speed and headed to the little boy's room. He entered and saw Kiba, Kanu, and the little boy playing. Kiba, is something wrong, Issei? Issei, crying, Issei, that's my dad's name. Issei, do you have the same name as my dad? Kanu, no, little one, he's your dad. Issei, you're my dad. Issei, yes, I am your. Because Dad wasn't there before, because Dad wasn't with Mom crying. Issei, I know I didn't know that, falling to his knees, son crying. Dad cryings. So father and son embraced. Kiba and Kanu were so moved that they were holding back their tears, but the brunette who managed to witness the whole scene cried with joy since she had been eagerly awaiting this beautiful moment. The little boy didn't want to leave his father's side to sleep, so Issei had to lie down with him in bed until he fell asleep. Murayama just happily watched the scene. After he managed to fall asleep, Issei got up. Issei, it's beautiful. Murayama, it reminds me of you. Issei smiles. I still don't know my son's name. Murayama, Mamoru, that's his name. Issei surprised, that name. Murayama, yes, you remember right. Years back. Murayama, if you had a son, what would you name him? Issei, well, I'd never really thought about that. I honestly have no idea. Thinking Mamoru, I think I'd name him that. Murayama means to protect. Issei, yes, I want him to be someone who can protect his family and the people he loves. End of memories. Issei smiles. Mamoru, my little Mamoru, stroking his hair. Murayama, you're finally here, but I don't think it'll be for long. Issei, you know it. Murayama, yes, I know, but I'm not against it. You have a priority to fulfill, right? Issei, yes. Murayama, I won't stop you. Besides, I have to share you with other women, right? Well, as long as you take the time to love me and be with our son, there won't be any problems. Smiling. Issei, you are the most important thing in my life, and it will always be that way. Kissing her. Murayama, thank you. Well, it's getting late. Shall we go and rest? Issei, of course. New problems. The daylight woke the chestnut-tired man, who went to the kitchen, where he saw Murayama while Mamoru was sitting in the living room playing. It seems I was the last one to wake up. Murayama, good morning. Mamoru, Dad is a big sleepyhead. Issei, hahaha, well, I need to recharge my energy. Murayama, Mamoru is very hyperactive. Issei, it's very noticeable. Murayama, once he disappeared on us and we were looking for him everywhere. Well, we'd better have breakfast. You have a lot to do, don't you? After finishing his breakfast, Issei said goodbye to the brunette and her son, as he wouldn't risk putting them in danger, but he would keep in touch with them. Underworld. Issei, Serafal, I need to talk to the team that pulled me out of the Speed Force. Kiba, well, the only thing missing would be Ajuka and Tracy Brand. Issei, I'm going to ask you guys something, but I don't think Tracy will like it. Hours later. Tracy, what you're asking me is... Issei, can you help me? Tracy, I'll try. Issei, I'll leave this for you, handing him some papers. Tracy, these blueprints, technology like this, did you make this? Issei, yes, the materials will be given to you by Ajuka-san. Tracy, okay. Leaving the underground room of Ajuka's mansion, the chestnut-tired man took a stroll through the house and decided to rest in an armchair. Kanu, Issei, Rias' entourage is here. They're going to talk to Ajuka. You have to leave. Issei, it won't be necessary. Saying those words, the chestnut-tired man's body began to vibrate. A few rays of light emanated from it, and it gradually subsided, but it had a different appearance. Kanu, what the... Issei, one of the advantages of the negative Speed Force. Kanu, surprised. The doors opened and revealed a group of girls with Hector. Ajuka, it was a bit disrespectful of them not to wait for the guards to guide them. Hector, and yet I need to talk to you. As if she were at home, she sat down and put her feet up on a table in front of her. The girls simply settled around her. Ajuka, what do you want? Annoyed. Hector, with more respect. Ajuka. Ajuka, if you want respect, show it. Hector, I'll speak as I please, raising his voice. Rias, calm down, love. Ajuka-sama, we want to go to Asgard and we need the permission of the 4 Maoists. We only need your permission. Hector, so hurry up and cooperate. Ajuka, if you want my help, you'll have to respect this house and my... Hector, how dare you speak to me like that? Escalon invoking Escalon. Hector prepared to attack, but his sword was caught by the edge by the bare hand of a chestnut-tired man who was present. Hector, who the hell do you think you are? Issei, my name is Bart. I am a servant of Ajuka-sama. I cannot allow him to be hurt. Hector, you're a speedster, right? Putting Escalon. Bart, Issei, that's correct. Ajuka, Bartson, everything is fine, you can go back. Bart, Issei, as you say, Ajuka-sama. Hector, whatever, are you giving us permission or not? Ajuka, I only have one condition. Rias, and what is it? Ajuka, I will allow you to go if you let me send some escorts with you. Hector, as long as they don't interfere, it's fine. Ajuka, well then Kanu-san can come in. Thus Kanu entered the room and greeted everyone present. Hector, well, if you're as beautiful as you are, I'll allow you to accompany me. Kanu, ignoring him. Ajuka and his sword guard will be Bartson here. For a moment, a smile appeared on the chestnut-tired man's face. Bart Issei, as you say, Ajuka-sama. Hector Tusk, anyway, we'll leave in 2 days. I'll see you at the Gremory mansion. Rias, thank you for everything, Ajuka-sama. Hector was about to leave, but moving at high speeds, he tried to attack Issei with his fist. However, the brown-haired boy easily dodged it. Hector, your fast servant. Bart Issei, I appreciate the compliment, but I would prefer that you refrain from causing any damage to my master's house. Hector, let's go, girls. When the guests left, the atmosphere relaxed and Issei returned to his original appearance. Issei, I really didn't think you'd play along. Ajuka, don't worry, but is it okay for you to be Kanu's companion? Issei, it's perfect. I'm dying to visit Asgard, but for now I'll stay with Tracy and help her with what I asked her to do. Ajuka, is it alright if from now on I introduce you as my personal bodyguard? Issei, no problem. The next day night. Tracy, okay, it's ready. Issei, well, it was a pleasure working with you. Tracy, likewise, I hope we can stay in touch. Issei, don't doubt it. Tracy, goodbye. Issei, take care. Minutes later. Ajuka, Issei, are you here? Entering the room. Issei, yes, what's wrong, Ajuka? Ajuka, I just dropped Miss Tracy off at her home and thanked her for her help. Issei, well, everything is ready. Ajuka, is that what I think it is? Surprised. Issei, yep. Ajuka, well, I suppose you're ready. Issei, don't doubt it. After resting and preparing their things, Issei and Kanu were with Ajuka at the entrance of the Gremory mansion, which hadn't changed much. Sirzets, Ajuka, welcome, come in please. Ajuka, thank you, sorry, they are my companions, young Kanu and Bart, my bodyguard. Sirzets, it's a pleasure to see you again, Kanausen. Kanu, likewise. Sirzets, it's also a pleasure to meet you, Bartson. Bart Issei, the pleasure is all mine, Mao Sirzets bowing. Sirzets, well, go ahead. After all the formalities, they took their seats at the large table in the Gremory house. Issei decided to remain standing. After all, he was just a servant. Hector, okay, then we can go. Sirzets, it's still early, serious. Ajuka, don't worry, Sirzets, we'll continue our conversation later. Well, it's time for you to leave. Sirzets, remember Rias, this journey is only to increase our trust in other mythologies. Rias, whatever you say, brother. Ajuka, well, Kanausen, I hope you have fun, and Bartson, please take care of her and obey everything the young lady tells you. Bart Issei, as I ordered, master. So everyone took their positions and a magic circle activated, a blinding light appeared, and when it ceased everyone was already in Asgard. Hector, well, we're here now, so let's go talk to that old man right away. After walking a little they arrived at Odin's palace. Valkyrie, stop, who are you? Hector, who do you think you are to stop me? I am the Sekiryuutei. Bart Issei, excuse the inconvenience, we come on behalf of Sirzets-sama and Ajuka-sama. Valkyrie, I understand, please follow me. Hector, at least you're good for something. Bart Issei, I appreciate your words, soon. After being guided they met Odin. Valkyrie, Odin-sama, we have guests. Odin, so they've arrived. Hector, we went through a lot of trouble getting here, old man. Odin, control your tone and your words when you speak to me. Hector, whatever. Odin, ohoho, Kanausen, welcome, and who is your companion? Kanu, he is the bodyguard that Ajuka-sama offered me, his name is Bart. Bart Issei, bowing, I am honored to meet you. Odin, I see, likewise, young man, well, I'll guide you to your rooms. After leaving them in their rooms, he told them there would be a party that night. Issei went to Kanu's room to talk to her. Issei, tonight will be my first appearance. Kanu, are you sure? Issei, don't worry, everything is calculated. So night fell, the party was in full swing, everything seemed perfect, but it was interrupted by a small explosion. A portal formed and a man emerged from it. Ross, who are you? Odin, answer, why should I answer you? Hector, you, impossible Savitor was defeated by Flash. I am not Savitor, I am your punishment for the acts you have committed, you will pay for the suffering you have caused. Hector, oh yeah, Bart Issei. Kanu, if you have things to attend to with the Sekiryuutei, it's best to do them outside. Kanu, daughter of Yasaka, walking towards her. Bart Issei, stepping in front of Kanu, don't come any closer or I'll be forced to use force angry. I see a speedster who has remained in the shadows, we have so much in common looking at Issei. Hector, so you've come here for me, show me what you can do, you show off. Thus began both of their careers. Rias, Hector, wait, Kanu, Bart, where are you going? Bart Issei, I need to know all the information possible about the intruder. If you'll excuse me, I'll be absent from my duty for a few moments, serious. The chestnut-tired boy also took off at great speed. Meanwhile, the intruder and Hector were having a verbal exchange. You're not so different from me either. Hector, you're a criminal and I'm a hero. Well, to each their own. You chose to be a hero, I chose another path. Issei, I'm sorry to interrupt this conversation, but I can't allow this to continue. We have another guest. Hector, what are you doing here? Are we having a race? The intruder started running, followed by Hector and Bart. Try as they might, they couldn't catch him. The intruder punched Hector in the leg, dislocating it, and then punched Bart in the stomach. Grabbing both of them by the head, he continued running and returned to the party, throwing them both to the ground, looking at them and laughing. Hector, shit, Issei, wow, that's great speed. Cough, you're amazing, Bart. Despite being a recent sprinter, you were able to keep up with me. Issei, and you're surprisingly fast. Hurt and annoyed. Everyone present stood still, admiring this moment. I could squash you like a cockroach right now, but I'll give you a chance, grabbing Bart by the neck. Issei, what, angry. Join me, imagine what you and I would create or what we would destroy. Issei, what do you mean, confused? Imagine the massacres we would inflict on the guilty in one selfish battle after another until we die. Isn't that what you want? Issei, thoughtful. Hector, you can't take me on alone, so you're asking for help. You'll find it ironic since you did this, right? Hector, what are you talking about? Doesn't this scene look familiar? Haven't you seen it before? Hector, no wait, something's missing, I know. Moving swiftly, he grabbed Rias' Gremory and positioned himself at the top of the party. Hector, let her go, now you remember. At that moment, Hector's mind flashed through everything that had happened 6 years earlier, the day his brother died. Hector, who the hell are you? Rias, help me. Don't worry, Hector, I won't letting go of Rias. Hector, I don't understand, what does he want? Remember this moment, I will continue to torment you. No matter what you try, I will end the life of your beloved. Now do you remember? Think about it carefully, I'll leave that as homework for you, hero. Thus the intruder passed through a portal and disappeared. When everything calmed down, Hector complained to Odin for not intervening, but Odin only told him that the intruder was only interested in someone other than Hector, so he had nothing to worry about. But he apologized for not being able to protect Rias. It was agreed that a meeting would be held in Asgard with those involved. Days later, Asgard. Surzets, it seems this place was attacked by an unknown speedster. From what we see in the images, it focuses on two people, Hector and Bart. Michael, do you have anything to say? Hector, I only know he's an idiot who wants to show off. Issei, thoughtful. Hector, why aren't you talking? Issei. Surzets, is something wrong? Hector, the thing is he works with the sprinter. Who are you? Issei, angry. Hector, answer me, who the hell are you? Issei, no loss. Everyone fell silent after the chestnut-haired man's reply. Michael, what does that mean? Issei, a few days ago I left the Speed Force, but I don't remember who I am. Ajuka-sama found me and took me under his protection. Surzets, why didn't you tell us this, Ajuka? Ajuka, I didn't think it was relevant, but this changes everything. Hector, what's the last thing you remember? Issei, to a man in a black suit. Hector, it's not possible. Surzets, can we do some blood tests on you? Issei, no problem, it won't be necessary. Hector, you again, did I make you miss me? Seraphal, what is it you want? Well, I came to see this beautiful family reunion. Ajuka, what are you talking about? Hector, this isn't possible, trembling. Issei, angry. Surzets, perhaps, that's right, Mao Surzets, he is Hayadu Issei. So the chestnut-haired man, moving quickly, angrily pushed that guy against the wall. Issei, you don't know who I am, annoyed. Flashpoint, you're wrong, I know perfectly well who you are. I feel your pain, I share your sense of justice. Issei, shut up. Angry and shouting. The chestnut tree was about to pierce the intruder's chest, but he quickly escaped. Ajuka Bartson. Issei, if you'll excuse me, Ajuka-sama, I'll step out for a moment. Hector and the girls followed him. Hector, you're Issei brother. Issei, that's not my name. Rias Issei. Issei, that's not my name. Hector, I understand we won't force you, but I would like us to be a family. Issei, leave me alone for now. After Hector said this, the girls left. The next day Bart was being looked after by Rossweisse. Ross, so you were the former Sekiryuutei. Issei, that's what I've been told. Ross, it must be hard not being able to remember anything. Issei, yes it really is, but I'm glad I could talk to you, smiling. Ross 00th, thank you, it's nice to talk to you too. Issei, if you'll excuse me, I'm going out too. Where to? Issei, what are you doing here? Very serious. What do you think of my generous offer? What do you say? Are you in or are you staying out? Issei, I solve my problems myself. That Valkyrie, it would be a shame if she died. Ross, trying to hide his fear. Bart Issei, I'm going to break that armor so I can see your face begging for mercy. Show me what you're capable of. Bart took the lead and attacked, but the enemy just dodged the blows, hitting Bart's lower abdomen and continuing with an uppercut, leaving the brunette dizzy. Grabbing him by the neck, he started to Bart, the sprinter, took him to where everyone was gathered. Hector, it's a shame your little brother didn't want to help me, but that doesn't mean you won't pay for your actions. Ajuka, let it go. You're no longer of any use to me, how do is. Saying this, he plunged a dagger attached to his armor into the chestnut tree's heart. Bart Issei, it's over, goodbye forever is. Throwing the chestnut tree to the ground. Bart Issei, you big idiot. Sirzech, who are you? I've had many names, revenge, justice, but I prefer Goodspeed. Ajuka, you. Hector, I don't care about your name, I'm going to finish you off. Goodspeed, I'm tired of this cheap theater. Goodspeed grabbed Aquino and hit her, then pierced her with a stake. Hector, no, Goodspeed, no more games, catching Rias, welcome to your hell. Hector, let her go. Goodspeed, what will you do now? 2 have already died, how many more will die? Hector, no, this won't end like this. Hector started running, opening a portal and entering the Speed Force. I'll fix this, he said, but Hector was being followed by the brunette. XXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXX end the life of your beloved. Now do you remember? Think about it carefully. I'll leave that as homework for you, hero. Disappearing. Hector, did I do it? I did it. While Hector was happy with his feat, a chestnut-tired man was furious, running at great speed. He grabbed him by the neck and slammed him against the wall. Hector, ag, what the hell do you think you're doing? In pain. Issei, you wretch, you dare to travel through time, don't you? Ajuka, Bart, let it go. Issei, that's not my name, Ajuka. Sirzets, what Issei? Maybe with this appearance they still won't recognize me, right, little brother? Hector, you remember. Issei, oh yes, of course I remember how you took everything from me, how you murdered me. Odin, what? Issei, come on Hector, why don't you tell them? Hector, I don't know what you're talking about. Issei, releasing him, I would love to take revenge right now, but we have a more important matter to attend to. Sirzets, you are. Issei, I'll do Issei. The shock fell upon everyone. The ancient Sekiryuutei is alive. Hector, how is that possible? Issei, I followed you, don't you remember? It seems your time travel restored my memory. Hector, I'm going to kill you like I did before. Sirzets, you're finally showing your true colors. Ajuka, time travel. Issei explained to everyone that in the original timeline, Goodspeed killed Rias and Aquino, and Hector traveled through time, changing that event. Hector, I had no other choice. Issei, oh, of course you had it. Hector. Issei, since everyone knows your true personality, you're on your own, but I'll deal with you later. For now, I'll see how to face that speedster and what changes you've made to history. Hector, Tusk, whatever, I'll finish that guy off. Issei, really? Odin-sama, may I ask you a favor? Odin, may I ask which one it is? Issei, I need you to lend me your technology. Odin, no problem, Ross, please guide him. Hector, what do you plan to do? Issei, try to fix this, and you, looking at Hector, well, enjoy this world you've created. Hector. Issei, and I have a name for it, Flashpoint. Leaving. Everything was chaos. Hector lost all the support of the factions. The girls distanced themselves from him to think about their feelings. Issei didn't leave the Asgard laboratories. Hector, and how are you doing, idiot? Issei, better than you, you imbecile. Hector, hahaha, and that temper. Issei, it seems you haven't understood the situation. Hector, that doesn't matter, he won't achieve his goal. Issei, and that's what you did wrong. Do you think that when he realizes he messed up he won't know you traveled through time? Hector. Issei, your silence says it all. Hector, whatever, I can still kill you. Issei, I want to see you try. Odin, that's enough, you two. Hector, Tusk, remaining silent. Issei, I'm sorry, Odin-sama. Odin, what are you buildings? Issei, well, it's a treadmill. Odin, and what's that for to walk, idiot V? Issei, you see, when we speedsters travel to the past and change something, we create a new timeline. And in this one, where we are now and what I want to achieve by building this is to travel back in time days, preventing the deaths of Rias and Aquino, but remaining in the original timeline. Odin, I think I understand. Issei, there's just one problem with all the energy we're emitting. I won't be able to open a hole that allows us to go to the original timeline. I'd need at least 5 speedsters. Odin, that's a problem. Hector, useless, use this, throwing something at him. Issei, catching him, this is how you manage to survive and heal the Philosopher's Stone. Hector, as always, I'm smarter than you. Issei, shut your mouths. The days passed and Issei and Hector's relationship was terrible. Almost a month had passed. Ross, here's some water for you, Issei-san. Issei, thank you very much, Ross. Ross blushing, you're welcome. How about we go for a walk? Issei, why not? They both left to enjoy themselves a bit amidst all the time travel chaos. But Hector wasn't just sitting idly by, he went inside and modified something on the treadmill. Hector, you'll always be beneath me laughing. Everything seemed to be going well, and a meeting day arrived to explain the plan against the Speedster. Surzech, okay Issei, could you explain the plan to us? Issei, I'll be direct and concise. I'll use the treadmill to open the space-time bridge. Hector will travel through it and then I'll catch up with him. The rest of you will have to prevent Goodspeed from stopping us. Ajuka, it's a simple plan. Hector, will you come with me? Issei, of course you thought I'd let you go alone so I wouldn't remember. Don't forget that when you get back you'll have to pay for everything you did. Odin, the difficult part will be avoiding the intruder. At that moment, an Asgardian soldier rushed in desperately. Soldier Odin-sama, he's here. Michael, it's too soon. Issei, let's begin now. Goodspeed, start what? Laughing. Hector, I'll take care of you. They both left quickly. Issei, no, damn it, that idiot. Ajukasan, turn on the treadmill. I'll be there as soon as possible, following them. Hector was helpless against Godspeed's speed. He simply absorbed every blow like a punching bag. A slight stumble sent Hector tumbling across the ground. Goodspeed, is this your plan? Time travel, stepping on Hector's body. Hector, Gok. Goodspeed, wait, you didn't just make sure Hitler stayed at art school, you saved 2 girls. And in a supreme act of selfishness, you shattered common history like an amateur. Hector, damn it. Issei, hey you idiot, you're staying there spinning around at high speed. Goodspeed, you're delusional. Issei, take this, throwing a beam. The beam launched by the chestnut-tired man struck Goodspeed in the chest, but he merely absorbed it and sent it back towards Issei, who fell from the counterattack. Goodspeed, that's it, they're so lame. Goodspeed didn't finish speaking because Kiba hit him in the chin, throwing him off balance. Issei, Kiba, what are you doing here? Kiba, that doesn't matter because we didn't deal with the first one. Hector, I will destroy them. So the trio of speedsters went against Goodspeed. It was an impressive battle, blows came from all sides. Despite not having spoken, the 3 were very coordinated. They managed to attack Goodspeed in different areas, so he couldn't defend himself from all the blows. With no way to protect himself, he fell to his knees and was finished off by Issei. Kiba, okay, you can go. Hector, what? Kiba, I'll hold it, you guys have to fix this, right? Issei, I owe you one, Kiba. Let's go, Hector. Hector, you don't need to tell me. The brothers left and headed towards the tread. Surzech, is everything ready? Ajuka, if there are no problems. Michael, let's just hope it works. Issei, we're here. Odin, alright, get started. The chestnut-tired boy got on the treadmill and started running. The hole was slowly opening up, but not everything was good. Odin, it seems he's here. Ajuka, Surzech, Michael. The 3 of them formed a barrier across the entire room. Goodspeed was furious, pounding on the barrier again and again. Goodspeed, I won't allow it. Hector, hurry up, idiot. As Issei ran, he saw fragments of the past, present, and future of his world and other worlds. Some of the fragments. Rias, I want you to join me and be part of my entourage. Goodspeed, that's all. What? No, brat, I'm not your dad. Mamoru, happy birthday, dad. End of fragments. The portal had become stable. Issei, now Hector, get in. Hector, don't worry, I'll go, but you'll stay behind. Issei, what? Without noticing, something resembling chains appeared on either side of the treadmill and gripped Issei, who couldn't stop running. Odin, what the hell do you think you're doing? Hector, don't come any closer. Odin, if you stop me or him, everything will be lost, and the same for you. Looking at Surzech, Michael, and Ajuka. Michael, I can't believe you're doing this. Hector, don't worry, you won't even remember it, and neither will you, little brother, goodbye. Hector entered the hole and began his journey, but Goodspeed broke through the barrier, killed almost everyone by snapping their necks, and quickly followed Hector. Hector, ha 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 ha, as always there below me. Running and laughing like crazy. Judge, jury, and executioner. After what happened, Hector managed to return, thus preventing the deaths of Aquino and Rias and avoiding the return of Issei's memories. But it seems I traveled right to the moment when Goodspeed was about to kill them, or... Goodspeed, I'm tired of this cheap theater. Goodspeed was about to kill Aquino. Hector, no, this isn't right. Issei calibrated the treadmill for travel before this. Please don't do it. Goodspeed, confess your sins, all of them, Hector and I. Goodspeed, confess. Hector, I killed Issei. I separated them from the girls and, using succubus blood, made them mine. I interrupted the banquet in hell to kill him and clear my name, and I worked with Rizvim. So he's still alive. Everyone was silent after those words. Goodspeed, that's not all. Hector, Riasvim and I were planning to destroy the underworld from within using the girls. The girls cried after all, the love they had for him was fake. The leaders were very indignant. Hector's facade had been exposed. That silence was broken as the chestnut-tired man stood up and began to applaud. Bart, Issei, very good, congratulations, smiling and clapping. Hector, what? Goodspeed, for someone so intelligent, you weren't able to notice that I used the same alibi as your little brother. Hector, no, I don't understand, you're not supposed to remember anything, confused. Goodspeed, thank you for giving me the stone with this. I have what I need to pay the Speed Force for freeing me. Hector, what? Issei. It's simple, little brother, to let the Speed Force release me. I promise to take care of those who break the rules, but my main payment for being outside was to deliver the stone. Goodspeed, and you will pay for all the damage you did to me, for everything you took from me. Hector, I see you used a time remnant, but that's also breaking the rules of the Speed Force. Goodspeed, oh no, little brother, we didn't do that. So Goodspeed got out of the armor and Bart was seen. Hector, I knew it. You broke the rules too. At that moment, the two Isseis began to vibrate, coming together and leaving only one. Hector, it's not possible. Issei, it's one of the abilities I gained after leaving the Speed Force. Hector, it can't be. Bart, Issei, and I'm not finished yet. The chestnut tree vibrated again and returned to its original appearance. Issei, I owe this to the negative Speed Force. Hector, falling to his knees, no, I am the hero, I am. Issei, you're trash, what am I going to do with you now? Well, I have time to think about how to torture you, smiling. Surzaj, stop it, Issei. Don't do it, you're not like this. Issei, what do you know? Odin, young Hyodu, don't stoop to his level. Issei, I've killed before. Rias, Issei, crying my Issei. Issei. Rias, you're not Issei, I see the person I love there. Issei. Issei's eyes showed only vengeance and hatred. Rias, what happened to you, Issei? Rias, answer me. Issei, having reached this point, I'll understand if you don't accept me, but as long as you're okay, I'm happy. All the girls looked at Issei, confused and sad. After all, he was still thinking about them. Hector, but I saw it, you killed them. Issei, yes, I did it, I did what was necessary to save them. Hector, you're insane. Issei, you're not the one to tell me that. Mao Surzech, the Archangel Michael, and Azazel positioned themselves between Issei and Hector. Issei, what are you doing? Michael, we can't allow you to do this. Issei, are they protecting the culprit? Surzech, even though he is guilty, he has done many things that have supported the alliance. Issei, and that atones for his sins. Azazel, no, but he will be given a proper trial. Issei, but of course you know what, I have a better solution, kill him. Asia, you're not like that. Aquino, the Issei I know doesn't kill. Issei, that Issei no longer exists. Total silence. Ajuka, Issei, the plan has worked so far, but don't do this. Issei, Hector, get out. And so Hector escaped. Everyone thought the chestnut-tired man had calmed his rage, but they couldn't have been more wrong. Surzach, I knew you would make the right decision. Ria's crying your back. Issei, don't be mistaken. Surzech, I let him go only to give him the false hope that he would live. Michael, what? Issei, there's nowhere in the world you can hide from me. Ajuka, but he won't travel through times. Issei, I don't think he wants to join the Speed Force. Black Flash is waiting for him there. Azazel, so. KSA, I'll just let him believe he's free. Odin, revenge is not the way, boy. Issei, according to you, I was dead for 6 years. But I was in a place where time is irrelevant. The only thing that kept me sane was my will to take revenge. Rias, don't hurt him, Issei. Rias, don't ignore me. Issei, I forgot you're still in love with him. Asia, you're wrong, it's not. Issei, oh no, sorry, it's just that if it's not that, why were you with him? Irina, he induced us with a substance. Issei, which has no effect unless you don't feel anything for him. Rias. Issei, like I said before, I don't care what you think of me, I've already saved them, that's enough for me. Now all that's left is Hector. The next day the girls were confused, they didn't know what to think or what to do. Meanwhile, the leaders were looking for a way to stop Issei. Hector was moving from one place to another. Everything seemed to indicate that he had one last move to make. Ajuka explained to everyone what Issei did to get his life back. Ajuka, and that's how it happened. Azazel, a truly exceptional plan. Michael, but there was a cost. Surzech, a very expensive one. Azazel, what do they mean? Michael, in order to save the girls, he had to kill them, then he erased that timeline. Ajuka, it's not that he doesn't care what the girls think of him. Issei can't bear to see them without remembering the moment he murdered Rias and Akina. Azazel, so that's why he stays away from them. Everything was going well, but Grafia interrupted to tell them to watch television. When you turn it on, you can see Zoom talking. Zoom, this is our finish line, Issei. The games are over, you and me. I'll be waiting for you at the abandoned factory. This was surprising. Hector was challenging Issei to one last race. Surzach, locate the place he's talking about immediately. Issei must already be there. Abandoned factory. Zoom, so you're here now. Issei, I don't like being late. Zoom, perfect, well let me explain this to you. That thing you see there will be our clue if you manage to catch me before it activates. You win and you can kill me. Issei, what if I don't succeed? Hector, well that machine will send out a pulse to save you the explanation. If you don't stop me, that pulse will destroy every single Earth in existence. In short, no more multiverse. Issei, I understand. While the brothers were talking, the leaders arrived, along with Rias and the girls. Hector, we have guests. Issei, if you're challenging me, that means you injected yourself with velocity 9 again, right? Hector, I consumed enough to be able to keep up. The sprinters got into position and took off. They both ran as if their lives depended on it. Hector took the lead and did everything he could to prevent Issei from catching him after all. Issei was using the armor he had built. Surzach, this is serious. Rias, I have to stop him. Azazel, stepping in, don't do it, just getting close could kill you. Issei caught up to Hector and began punching and pushing him. Hector, unable to respond to the blows, only focused on running. They had been at it for 10 minutes and Issei with a claw pierced Hector's leg. Hector, ag, falling. Issei, well I win. Hector, wrong, you lost, haha. Apparently, Hector managed to activate the machine that would destroy the multiverse. It launched a beam of energy into the sky, from which a gigantic portal opened, expelling rays and absorbing everything it could. Hector, hahaha, goodbye multiverse. Issei, piercing his heart with a stake, shut up. The chestnut-tired boy headed towards the machine and began running in reverse with all his might. The armor began to crack until it broke, throwing Issei to the ground and shattering the machine. Issei, will that be enough? The singularity was expelling energy. It seemed to have worked, but the explosion it would cause would destroy everything. Hector, cough cough, what have you done? Idiot, you reversed the process. Issei. Ajuka, Issei, get out of here. This place will end up as ashes. Issei, there has to be a solution. Ajuka, there isn't one. If what Hector said is true, we'll basically receive all the energy of the multiverse. Nothing will be left of this planet. Issei, go away, get everyone out of here. Rias, are you crazy? What will you do? Issei, smiling, I really can't deceive you. I really love you, but I can't let you die. Surzach, what will you do? Issei, create a barrier and protect them. I'll stop this. The energy began to accumulate. In theory, it was impossible to stop it. Hector, nothing will work anymore. Imbecile. Issei, well, let's hope their gift works. Issei's body began to expel a strange energy that started to envelop him. His eyes changed color to a deep purple. Rias, Issei, don't leave me. Issei, I won't, smiling. The energy exploded and like a blast headed towards Issei. Issei, Avesta, activate. Construction of dualism, another cosmology, raising his arm. A sphere of fire formed in the chestnut tree's hand, absorbing a portion of the multiverse's energy. By absorbing the explosion's energy, it created an opposite mirror to neutralize it. It was like watching two beams of light collide. Issei could barely withstand the clash of power and stood firm. BOOMMM. An explosion produced by the two energies was enough to close the singularity, which then disappeared. But not everything was good. Issei could barely stand. His body was in a terrible state. Every single bone in his body was broken. Hector, who was surprised, stood up. Hector, luck is on my side. Issei, I'm not finished with you yet. The chestnut-tired man, using the negative speed force, began running around Hector, who didn't understand why he was doing it. Issei, say goodbye to your speed. Hector, no, don't do it, please don't. The speed force began to emanate from Hector's body and every cell in his body suffered pain. After all, the speed force was leaving his body, destroying every part of him. Hector, AAHHHHGKK, wait no please, it hurts. AAHHHGGG. Hector's desperate cries ceased when he had already lost his speed. Hector was barely conscious, lying on the ground. The chestnut tree also collapsed. After all, his body couldn't take any more. He was completely exhausted. Everyone rushed to his aid. The girls were crying over his condition, and the redhead placed Issei's head in her lap. Issei, I saved them, they're safe, smiling. Araya Issei, I'm sorry, don't leave me. Aquino, crying, Issei, we love you, please stay with us. Hector, getting up, you bastard, what have you done to me? Issei, hahaha, cough, hahaha. Hector, that's so funny. Issei, it seems I won't be the one punishing you. Hector, what? A small portal opened and black flash emerged from it. Issei, I present to you your judge, jury, and executioner. Hector's no. Scared. BF, hi Hector, we have a lot to talk about, don't worry, we'll have a good time. Hector, no, don't do this to me, brother, I'm your family, scared. Issei, take care, little brother. Hector, no. Thus black flash pierced Hector's chest, entered the portal and disappeared. 2 months later. The underworld was on the right track, the doubts were cleared up. For the demonic population, the well-known Hector died in a heroic act for the good of the underworld. Kiba and Kaneko managed to return after learning that it was all a plan by Hector to separate them. But in a room in the underworld, a chestnut tree was just waking up. Issei confused, hee. Where am I? Kiba, relax buddy, you're okay. Issei, how long have I been here? Kiba, 2 months. Issei, what? Surprised. Kiba, relax, everything is fine. Issei, how are the girls? Kiba, you're doing very well, every night they come to visit you and spend time with you. Issei, Murayama and Mamoru, where are they? Kiba, they're with Kaneko and they've also come to visit you. Issei, I see, smiling. Kiba, Black Flash gave me this, after all it belongs to you. The blonde man handed him his sacred gear boosted gear which was in Hector's hands. Issei, then do me a favor, give this to him, handing over the Philosopher's Stone. Kiba, okay, why don't you get up and get dressed? I think they're waiting for you in the main hall, smiling. The chestnut-tired man changed and headed towards the main room. It was very quiet, too quiet. Issei, worried and alert, entered the room but was surprised. Everyone welcome Issei. They all screamed as they ran towards him to hug and greet him. Rias, you're back, my love. Issei, yes, I'm already here. Azazel, you've finally awakened. Issei, heavy sleep. Vali, it's good to see you, how do? Issei, likewise, Vali. Mamoru, dad, Issei, Mamoru, my little one, how are you? Mamoru, well, I was missing you. Murayama, I missed you a lot too. Issei, thank you all so much, crying. Hugging his son and his women, you could see the happiness on the chestnut-tired man's face, the happiness he fought for, the happiness he deserved. It's not a hero's end, but he's not a hero. He's just someone who tried hard to get his life back. Zend. XXXXXXXXXXXX. Well, folks, after the reconstruction, this place is finally as good as new. Yes, we did it. Well, let's get to work. Portal openings. Everyone was shocked. They hadn't seen anything like it in 2 years, but only a young man with blue hair came out of the portal. Who are you? Nervous. XXX Issei Kumagawa. Issei, could you tell me where I am? Smiling. And a sneak peek at the crossover. Issei, calm down, son, go with your mother, I have to go out. Mamoru, yes, dad, Surzets, we need to close all these gaps. Ajika, Issei's team is already on it. What about me? Risevim, who the hell are you? Oh, come on, am I really that different from the me around here? Issei, appearing, I don't know who you are, but you shouldn't be here, serious. Hey, don't you recognize yourself? Smiling. Issei, what encounter crossover part 1? Clarifications. Issei, the weakest human, will speak like. Kumagawa, I lost. Issei, the crimson speedster, will speak like. Issei, a race, unknown location. Kumagawa, well, it's time to go back to them. The blue-haired boy, after a rest, got up and was ready to leave, but before him appeared what seemed to be a large hole in the sky. Which sucked the blue-haired one. Kumagawa, what kind of tasteless joke is this? That hole, after absorbing it, disappeared as quickly as it appeared. Kumagawa, what the hell is this? The blue-haired boy found himself in a void, but a small portal, similar to the one that had absorbed him before, appeared. Well, folks, after the reconstruction, this place is finally as good as new. Yes, we did it. Well, let's get to work. Portal openings. Everyone was shocked. They hadn't seen anything like it in 2 years, but only one young man emerged from the portal with blue hair. Who are you? Nervous. Kumagawa, Issei Kumagawa. Issei, could you tell me where I am? Smiling. In Kyo City. Kumagawa, I'm serious, where am I? Piercing him with a screw. Hog, what are you doing, Og? Kumagawa, I'll ask again, where am I? Kyo City. Kumagawa, you're lying, looking at the others, and will you tell me where I am? Smiling. The other people were scared, they were speechless, but just nodded because it was true. Kumagawa, you're all liars, serious. Saying this, I drove many screws into the bodies of those people, agonizing screams came from them. Kumagawa I find die being liars. The blue-haired man left where he was and decided to take a walk around the entire city. Kumagawa, excuse me, sir, could you tell me what city I'm in? Smiling. Sir, well, we're in Kyo. Kumagawa, well, thank you. Half an hour later. Kumagawa, excuse me, ma'am, could you tell me what city this is? Ma'am, we're in Kyo, are you lost? Kumagawa, no, excuse me, thank you, leaving. The blue-haired boy was very stressed and annoyed. Kumagawa, where the hell am I shouting at the sky? Next day, Underworld. Ajuka, I'll explain. After what happened 2 years ago, it seems the singularity left rifts throughout the city. We don't know what this will bring, but we must close them. Issei, I understand from what I know, those rifts connect to other worlds. Surzech to other worlds. Issei, this isn't the only universe, there are many more. For some reason, Hector wanted to destroy the multiverse, I just don't know why. Serafal, that's already happened, let's focus on. Everyone focused their attention on the television, which was showing something. Ajuka, Gideon, what are you showing us? Gideon, a breach caused a strong reaction yesterday at a factory in Kyo City, and today the news showed that the bodies of multiple people brutally murdered with large bolts were found at that location. Issei, do you have any pictures of the place? Gideon, it will take a while to get them. Issei, do it as soon as possible. Ajuka, do we have a visitor from another world? Surzech, I will send soldiers to guard the area. Issei, I'll take care of closing the other breaches outside of Kyo, since they're the furthest away. Ajuka, okay. Kyo City. Kumagawa, well, I'm in Kyo, but I don't recognize it. According to the neighbors, my parents died years ago. I suppose I'll have to pay a visit to the academy, smiling. The blue-haired boy got up from the bench where he was lying and headed towards the academy. He didn't take long to arrive. The security guard tried to stop him, but Issei killed him. He took a walk around the academy, visited the occult club, and saw many boys who were demons, but not the ones he was looking for. He decided to go to the student council, but they weren't from the Citri clan either. Kumagawa. This is weird. All the students were staring at him because they thought he was a transfer student from another academy since he was wearing a uniform. Then he saw something that surprised him. In front of him was a small clock that also had a calendar. Kumagawa, that can't be. The calendar said 10/06/2026. Kumagawa, oh no, it's not possible, today is supposed to be 12/06/2018. The blue-haired boy asked a student what year it was, and the student replied, confused, 2026. Issei quickly left the academy and headed to a park to think about all of this. Kumagawa, that can't be possible, am I in the future? No, if that were the case it wouldn't make sense since my parents would still be alive and not like it says, that they disappeared many years ago. The blue-haired man was trying in one way or another to think about how he ended up in this place. Kumagawa, parallel world, no, that's just a theory, right? There's only one way to confirm it. The blue-haired man quickly left and headed towards the underworld, and he was met with another surprise, all those he had tortured and murdered were alive. Kumagawa, well, I'll have to gather as much information as possible, serious. Gideon, I already have the pictures of the place. Serafal, show us. Gideon obeyed and showed the leaders everything. It was clear how the breach had brought in a young man who calmly spoke with the people there, and then brutally murdered them. Ajuka, we have to alert everyone. Surzech, that guy is very dangerous. Serafal, she has a resemblance to. 5 hours later. Kumagawa, I can't believe it, so another world, hehe, if that idiot is alive I'll pay him a visit to hear it from his own mouth. Kyo City. Issei, well, most of the breaches are closed now, I'll go home. The brunette quickly went home, the girls were on a mission. Only Murayama was home, but she was resting. The brunette kissed her forehead without waking her, went out and sat in the living room. Issei, the machine Hector built to destroy the multiverse was part of his pre-established plan, but why? What would he gain by destroying the multiverse? A magic circle appeared in the chestnut tree's ear. Ajuka, Issei, are you there? Issei, what's wrong, Ajuka? Ajuka, someone, the breach brought someone. Issei, what? Okay, let me grab something and I'll be right there. Mamoru, hi dad, how's everything in the underworld? Issei, 1 or 2 problems. Mamoru, do you need help? Issei, calm down, son, go with your mother, I have to go out. Mamoru, yes dad, but if something happens just say so, I won't be as fast as you but I can help. D. Issei, you're only 6 years old, son. Mamoru, take care, dads. Issei, you take care of yourself and your mother too. The chestnut tree quickly left the place and headed to the underworld. Unknown locations. You could see how the blue-haired man was torturing Raisvim. Kumagawa, I where is how do Issei seriously? Raisvim aha I don't lose, Kumagawa, I tell me about the underworld. Issei I'm here. Ajuka good Gideon show it to him. Gideon obeyed and showed everything to the chestnut-eyed man, who was more serious than impressed. Serafal, what do you think? Issei, it's a little dangerous. Surzech, I asked some soldiers about that guy and they said they only saw him for a moment, then he disappeared. Ajuka, what do we do? Gideon, we just received information about Raisvim's whereabouts. It seems he's with that guy. Issei, where is he? Gideon, Kyo City, abandoned building to the north. The chestnut-eyed man quickly left, not giving any of those present time to say anything. Ajuka, what result did facial identification give? Gideon. Serafal, Gideon, there is a 75% compatibility. Surzets, with whom? Gideon with Hyaldu Issei. Ajuka, what abandoned factory? Raisvim, I already told you everything I know. Ag, Kumagawa, I hope so. Raisvims, who the hell are you, Kumagawa? Oh come on, am I really that different from the me around here? Raisvim, what surprised? Kumagawa, although now that I think about it he's older than me, isn't he? The blue-haired man felt a swift gust of wind behind him, and when he turned around, he saw a brown-haired man. Issei, I don't know who you are, but you shouldn't be here serious. Kumagawa, hey, don't you recognize yourself, smiling. Issei, what, this guy I don't feel anything coming from him it's like. Kumagawa, what if I weren't here, that's what you thought wasn't it, smiling. Issei, who are you, Kumagawa? You know who I am, if you found me so quickly, you must have something to do with me being in this world. Issei hands over Raizov. The chestnut-eyed man couldn't finish speaking because many bolts that emerged from the ground pierced Raizvim, who couldn't even scream before dying instantly. Kumagawa, I didn't hear you, can you repeat that? Laughing. Issei, why did you do that, Kumagawa? Because I don't have a specific reason, I just wanted to do it, psychopathic smile. Issei, this guy is really dangerous. Kumagawa, are you okay? I don't think so, hehe. The chestnut-eyed man quickly grabbed the blue-haired man by the neck and slammed him against a wall. Kumagawa, awesome, you're fast, like that guy in comics, eyes sparkle. Issei, you make me angry. Kumagawa, I have the facility, smiling. Issei, you're done for. The chestnut-eyed man's arm began to vibrate, and the vibration pierced the blue-haired man's heart. Kumagawa, I agged. The blue-haired boy fell to the ground, but Issei had a strange feeling. Issei, easy too, easy. The chestnut-eyed man picked up the blue-haired man from the floor and took him to the underworld. Underworld. The chestnut-eyed man locked him in one of the cells for meta-humans they had there. Ajuka, why did you bring him here? He's already dead. Issei, well, that was too easy, so I just want to make sure. Surzets, I understand you, but... Issei, but Surzets, Gideon told us the results of the facial recognition and he's your... Issei, you're not serious, are you? Serafal, it's very serious. At that moment, the chestnut-eyed man remembered the blue-haired man's words. Issei, he said, don't you recognize yourself? Ajuka, is something wrong? Kumagawa, that's what I'd like to know. Are you alright, Issei-kun? Everyone turned to see where that voice was coming from. Issei, I pierced your heart, how are you still alive, annoyed? Kumagawa, a magician never reveals his secrets. D. Serafal, what is your name? Kumagawa, Sarachin, don't you remember me? Serafal, what are you talking about? Kumagawa, haha, well that's logical since this isn't my world. Ajuka, so you come from another world. Surzets, what is your name? Kumagawa, Issei, smiling. Surzets, isn't your name Hyaldu Issei? Kumagawa, that's not my last name, serious. Serafal, but... Kumagawa, that's not my last name, shouting with a murderous glare. The Maoist shuddered at the sight of the young man before them. Issei, okay, Kumagawa, how did you end up here? Kumagawa, haha to that. Smiling, well, I was taking a break and a giant hole sucked me in backslash. slash. Ajuka, the singularity. Issei, that's enough for me, you'll stay here until we close most of the rifts, and then we'll send you back to your world. Kumagawa, whatever you say, Colonel, slash. The chestnut-eyed man withdrew without saying anything, but the Maoists were still there. Kumagawa, maybe he doesn't want to know anything more, but you all are very curious, aren't you? Smiling. Kiyoseti. Mamoru, Mom, I want to go too. Murayama, I'm sorry, my love, but that's not going to be possible. I'll just go to the underworld since I have to talk to your father, I'll be right back. Giving her a hug. Mamoru okay moms. Murayama I won't be long then we'll go eat with the girls okay. Mamoru yes. Murayama, then wait for me I'll be right back okay. The chestnut-tired woman left the house where one of Ajuka's subordinates was waiting to take her to the underworld. Ajuka, how does it feel to have crossed a breach? Excited. Kumagawa, well it's strange, it's like your body is being pulled by something. Ajuka I see thinking. Serafal, what am I like in your world? Kumagawa, well you're not so different your breasts are a little bigger than Sarachen's in my world. D. Serafal blushing. Surzats, you're very young to be Issei. Kumagawa, well it's curious because in my world it's 2018, but in this world it's 2026. Surzech, is that possible? Ajuka, I see the rifts connect to other worlds but not necessarily at the same time. Surzech so. Kumagawa, to me you guys are like from the future hehe. Surzech, I understand how we are in your world. Kumagawa, well you're all dead. Murayama Issei, where are you? Love, Ajuka Myramasan, what are you doing here? Murayama, excuse me Ajuka-sama, I need to speak with Issei. Kumagawa, here I am, black circle 3 black circle. Murayama Surzech, so don't bother talking to him. Murayama, who are you? Kumagawa, I'm Issei D. Murayama, what, confused? Serafal, it's best to explain it to him. The chestnut-tired man had already closed all the breaches. Only one remained, but before returning, he decided to enter the speed force. B-Flash, ohoho Issei, what are you doing here? Issei, I'm sorry, but I need to talk to Hector. B-Flash, and why is that? Issei, it's something important. Bail. Flash, okay, I'll take you to him. A few minutes later they arrived and Hector could still be seen completely distraught, haggard and nervous. Issei, hello Hector. Hector, ahahaha, get away, get away. Issei, I'll leave if you tell me what I want because you wanted to destroy the multiverse. What did you gain from that? Hector. Issei, answer. Hector, I couldn't allow it. I traveled to the future and saw him, that guy Blue Eyes, he killed everyone, he ruined everything. Issei, who? Hector, Blue Eyes, his smile. Hector could no longer say anything more as he began to delirious. B-Flash, did you get what you wanted? Issei, unfortunately yes, B-Flash. Issei, did you know this would happen? B. Flash, we cannot interfere. Issei, say I have to go back right now. Underworld. It didn't take them long to explain the situation, but he still didn't believe that the blue-haired boy was Issei from another world. Murayama staring at him intently. Kumagawa, I know I've seen you before, haha. You're Murayama from the Kendo Club. Murayama, how do I know you're really Issei? Kumagawa, I don't know, peace. Murayama, to be locked in a cell for metahumans, you must be dangerous. Issei would never do anything wrong. Kumagawa, your Issei wouldn't do anything wrong, whereas I psychopathic smile am very different. Everyone shuddered. That's when they realized that this guy was extremely dangerous. Surzets, whatever, you're not getting out of there until Issei closes all the rifts and then you'll return to your world. Kumagawa, and this cell is going to hold me. Ajuka, it is a special cell to nullify your metahuman powers. Kumagawa, I see but one thing. Serafal, I have a bad feeling. Kumagawa, who told you I'm a metahuman? Laughing like crazy. Surzets, what? At that moment, screws began to emerge from the cell floor and shatter the magically reinforced glass that held him prisoner. Ajuka, it's not possible. Surzets, Miss Murayama, get out of here quickly. Murayama. Okay, runnings. Once the blue-haired man left the cell, he looked at the Maoist. Kumagawa, shall we play? Smiling. Meanwhile, Murayama was running to escape, but he ran into Rias and her entourage who had just returned from their mission. Rias, Murayama, what's going on? Murayama, it's difficult to explain, but there's a guy inside who's very dangerous and the Maoists are confronting him. Aquino, guys, get ready. It wasn't long before the explosions made themselves known. Rias, everyone with me. Kiba, get Murayama to safety. Kiba, hi, Murayama-san over here. Murayama, be careful, worried. Upon arriving, they saw the Maoists having a very hard time as they were very tired and beaten up. Kumagawa, what happened? Where did that defiant look you both had go? Rias, Anasama, worried. Kumagawa, Looking towards where the voice came from, just the people I didn't want to see, what luck D. Kaneko trembling. Zenobia, what's wrong Kaneko? Kaneko, no, I don't feel anything, it's like I don't exist. Seeing the smile on the blue-haired man's face, Rias trembled slightly, but regaining her composure, she ordered her servants to attack. Aquino and Zenobia launched the first attack. Rias charged her power of destruction while Kaneko, Irina, and Rossweisse would have to figure out how to attack from another direction. But the blue-haired boy, as if he were a dancer, dodged all the attacks. Rias now girls. Kaneko attacked with senjutsu from the air, Irina from the front, and Ross from behind. The blue-haired boy threw a couple of screws at Irina, jumped, dodging Kaneko's attacks and kicked her, sending her crashing to the ground. Rias seized that moment to unleash her power of destruction. The blue-haired man didn't dodge it, he took it completely. Surzats, Rias, get out of here. Rias, but we already defeated him. Serafal, that's not how it is, that's what we thought at first too. Ross, what? From the rubble, the blue-haired man was seen getting up, shaking the dust off his clothes. Kumagawa. I'm sorry, dying is one of the things I detest because even with my all-fiction, I've started encountering a very annoying lady. Rias, how is it that surprised? Kumagawa. I have to admit that killing them a second time is going to be very comforting. Murayama, stop it. Kumagawa, Murayama, why are you doing this? Kumagawa, well, because it's fun. Murayama, don't you have someone to love? Don't you think those people don't want you to get your hands dirty with blood? Kumagawa, I don't have anyone like that serious. Murayama, only for they will take you back home. Kumagawa, really, Serafal, I promise you, so don't hurt us. Kumagawa, looking away, okay. Before he could finish speaking, the chestnut-haired man appeared and shot a beam of light that pierced his chest. Issei, is everyone all right? Murayama, Issei waits for. Issei, I'll kill him before he does any more damage. Kumagawa, really, you'll do it. Issei, stand back. I'll take care of it. Rias, we can't. Issei, what? Surzats, we can't use magic, surprised. Kumagawa, without magic they are nothing, smiling. Issei, it's not possible. Kumagawa, what do you say, Issei-kun? Second round.
Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.